When you go looking for strength, it's not like a game. This journey doesn't have a real ending. Okay then, hope you're ready to begin. If you want to start off on the right foot in this city, hit the streets.
Yeah, ain't there I do this, never fear losing. And when I get up in the game, y'all be improved. A real problem, but I solve them all face proof. And if you think I'm going forward, then you talking fool. Yeah, y'all wanna win, let me spin, boy. Or dunks aside, I'm super fly like I'm hanging off the rim, boy. I've been winning for my kinfolk, and I put on for my city from the intro. Fight! Training, getting wound up, channeling it in itself and moving up and down. Crossing over, passing around, I'm on the time like I can keep score. Years I never thought it crossed before. When I get out on my knees, I got it in the deep. I feel like I'm on the left, it really has got me. Since I went to win, no goodbyes, and you just did again. I'm out in the scheming, right around and dreaming. Once I get the feeling,
The top player is here.
Let me have some fun.
Ready? Then show me.
This will be a good fight.
if you wanna come and stand up to me, for me now. If you wanna challenge, tell me what you wanna call me now. I'm on the road to the top and I'm not looking back. I'm on the road to the top and I'm not looking back.
This is our destiny.
My secret art, Street Fighter 6.
Okay, everybody, and welcome back to another week of sets here on Capcom Fighters, the Tuesday show where we exclusively bring you two players from different parts of the world to play in this exhibition. And we have interviews, the pre-match interview and the post-match interview on both sides of the show. I'm going to be your host once again tonight, Jammerz, and alongside me, we're going to be introducing him. One of us is actually taking a vacation. He's taking a vacation, and he just said, Jammerz, I've had enough of you. Olvaha, I've had enough of you. And that's it, we're done. But as you can see, right now I've got Street Fighter 6. We're homing in on it, less than 2 months away. And I want to talk about it with my compadre, my co-host, when he comes up here. He will be here shortly.
Yo, what's up?
There he is.
Good to be here,
Olvaha,
brother.
Talk to me. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. Obviously, we're missing Veggie. We're missing our brother.
He's missing us.
He's missing us probably more so that way, actually, now that you say it. But he's taking a well-deserved vacation, and that would do good for all of us before Street Fighter 6, but some of us can't really do that, so we'll, have to roll with the punches.
Listen, some of us have to be rigorous and be on the ground, other of us. And you know what? Veggie's playing it very smart. He's doing the family holiday now, so he gets the cash in the favor come June 2nd. But we'll talk about June 2nd very shortly.
Family man tech.
You know what? We'll talk about Street Fighter 6, but we'll do it momentarily. But we still got to keep with Street Fighter 5. Richard, roll the fight card so the people know what is going on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you another UK exhibition. Yes, we have another young prospect in the scene with Zion Woods. He actually made top 16 in a CPT. I think it was last year, maybe the year before that. Something that not
22.
many people can have in their name or in their resume when it comes to fighting games. And then, of course, we have his opponent. He is a solid Chem player. He actually produces some underrated content, I gotta say, in FGC, and that is going to be by Rusty. We're going to be talking to these guys momentarily. They are in the green room waiting. So, before I ask you about how you feel about this exhibition tonight, because these guys are waiting, I want to give you guys the run of show. The time zones have changed, and I'm the worst at time zones. I'm just going to put it out there, but the times are on your screen right now. we are going back to PDT, Pacific Daytime, and BST, British Summertime. I don't know why they do that. I might actually have to look this up and learn some time zones properly. But yes, right now we are doing the Street Fighter news, recapping some things, covering some stuff, and I'm going to tell you there's an open beta on 2nd of June. I probably should have said that out loud, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then, of course, after that, we are going to have the players interview, which our guys are there right now waiting for us before we bring them in and going to talk to them. And then, of course, at the top of the hour, we are going to have the exhibition itself, the first attempt between Rush G and Zion Woods. So if you don't want to sit here for the preamble, if you don't want to hear this this chitter chatter, just please leave and then come back in about 40 minutes or so, and you guys will be ready for some action there. So, of course, Olvaha, Zion Woods, and Rush G. Full credit to you, by the way, because you reached out to both of them and you set this one up. Why did you want these guys specifically?
Well, I was thinking about UK players we haven't had on the show, and they obviously popped into my mind. Recently, I actually had the pleasure of playing against Rush G on one of the Street Fighter 6 betas, so he came into my mind because of that, and I remembered he played Ken in the beta, and he plays Ken in Street Fighter 5, and I like his content. He's very, like, an analytical mind. He likes to make some nicely digestible content on YouTube, for example. So I really like that approach to the whole fighting game content on YouTube. Make it like not necessarily only just match replays, but like little tidbits about tech and some observations inside the game that a lot of people might just not notice. And obviously I reached out to Zion as well, because he's been doing pretty good in the tournament scene, or 13th at the CPT 22 for the UK Ireland. So obviously, and he plays a very strong character, and he's a highly entertaining player as well. So yeah.
All right, interesting. Well, yeah, no, much appreciate for that, because like we said, we will be getting these guys in to talk to us before they actually exchange blows in that first 10. But first off, we got a recap something that happened over the weekend. I wore this jumper for a special.
Oh,
I wore this jumper for a
you're
special
dressed for the
occasion. Something did happen over the weekend. It was Evolution Japan 2023. And obviously we want to talk about things regarding Street Fighter 5. So we do have to give a congratulations to the King of Oils, the Oil King, doing the work. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, Red Bull Oil King. We got this lovely picture of him there. But yes, he was using the Seth most of the way. He did pick Rashid in 1 or 2 matchups. But I tell you what,
really
man,
interesting.
For someone of his caliber, he's had a very good run for Street Fighter 5, and I like that he was able to round it out. I mean, he might enter 1 or 2 more Street Fighter 5 tournaments before moving on to Street Fighter 6, but this was a good way to round out his career in Street Fighter 5, looking forward to the future in Street Fighter 6. His Seth play is phenomenal. Sometimes he makes Seth look like he has 1,000 health when he doesn't. So that's really good to see. He was actually one of my inspirations to be learning a bit more Seth. He has...
Oh yeah, you have been playing that character
I've been playing a bit of Seth recently. I've spoken to Sian about the character. Shouts to Sian. He's been talking about, him having conversations, sending videos with Oil King back and forth and exchanging tech regarding that. There was even an amazing chip sequence that Oil King done in one of the rounds. I think it was against Nemo in the grand finals there with Seth, which I might have to go practice that later actually. But I mean, Oil King fitting for Evo Japan win. Olvaha, you agree with that?
I think so, and like you said, it's a nice way to round out his career for Street Fighter 5, and I think Oil King as a player has been very impressive throughout the game's history in general, and I feel like he has adapted his kind of wild or unorthodox playstyle in a very interesting ways. For example, when they touched Rashid's EX Mixer, it's been interesting to see how he's been, because I think he's one of those players who took full advantage of that when it wasn't the way it is right now. So that's one observation I've made from his game, for example. But like you said, his Seth is phenomenal, and as a spectator of the game, Seth is a very entertaining character to watch as well. So.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I tell you what, it's amazing. Again, we got a shout to Nemo, Machabo. I think Tokido was there as well. I think Tokido didn't make the top 8, but there was tons of players there where Nemo took Gil to grand finals. He picked the Yuri, but he was just having much more fun with the Gil. We had some crazy diversity of characters once again. It just shows you the position of the game, because Street Fighter 5 is actually in a very good position now in terms of being
as well.
Yeah, in terms of just playing the game in general. So it's great to see.
But also just want to give a shout out to a few international players who flew out to play at Evo Japan as well. Filipino Man 17th, for example. DCQ 17th as well. Chris CCH.
Zen was there as well too. Shout out to
Yeah,
Zen.
Zen was there. I was gonna mention Zen as well. Placed 9th, and it's like super impressive back to back from Evo Japan and Capcom Cup finals. Like, what a run! Like, that's always gonna be probably the thing that people will remember Zen from. So, you know, only can go upwards from here.
Speaking
but
of,
also like Punk and Just a Kid.
Yeah.
Lots of good players.
Listen, and not only do you go to Japan for the event, but you go to Japan and have a good time. It's a great tourist attraction country, because I've been there. The last time I was there was in 2016. Damn, it's actually been so long. It's going to be nearly 10 years if I don't go there anytime soon. But yeah, if you ever have a chance to go to Japan just for a holiday, I recommend you do go for food alone. Right, just for food alone. Keep it between us. They've got some scrumptious food.
Honestly, and the
there.
sightseeing would be. I would love to see that someday.
You got to be
someday
careful.
I will.
You got to be careful about what time of year you go there, because it can be ram-packed in certain places because they do
That's true.
advertise
That's
it.
true. The spring, for example, with all the
You're right.
you know, cherry blossom.
Yeah, speaking of going up and up, we talk about Evo. Let us not forget, I don't think I mentioned this last week or last show that we were on, but I'll mention it this time round. Evo have announced their lineup. Street Fighter 6 will be there, along with Ultimate Marvelous Capcom 3. It is a Capcom title,
Gotta love it.
so we can talk about it here. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can still get signed up if you are considering going to Evo this year. I will tell you this now. I have seen people travel the 7 seas just to play Street Fighter 6 at just a demo of Street Fighter 6 at an event that's not even in their country. Imagine what it might do if you go to Evo. You can still sign up there. I'm pretty sure it's going to be ram-packed. I don't know. This could be far-fetched of me to say this. I don't know if Street Fighter 6 is going to outdo Street Fighter 5 in terms of applicants, because the first year Street Fighter 5, it was 5,000. If I'm not mistaken, it was around 5,000.
That was actually phenomenal. I don't think they've ever topped it since, right?
Yeah, because obviously it was 5,000, and next year was 3,500,
Yeah.
something like that. So I mean, if someone can fact check that for me, just to double check the first year of Street Fighter 5, how many entries it was, maybe Street Fighter 6 may get around about that number. I definitely don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be doubled. Maybe 5,000, maybe 6,000, but I think we'll maybe just get under 5,000. It really depends. Times have changed. That was 6-7 years ago, as opposed to now. But I mean, any plans this year to go Evo? Is it in the cards anywhere? Or?
Well, let's just say that if I'm not commentating, then I'm probably not going.
Okay, no, that's fine.
That's already a stretch, but I would love to go there as an experience. Maybe not this year, but possibly in the future. And just wanted to actually like point out a fact as well, because like Street Fighter 5, when it was at its peak at Evo with the 5,000 entrants, obviously the situation for a lot of players has changed. People have gotten new jobs, like families to uphold and stuff like that. So obviously a lot of things like that will be playing out for the entrant numbers. But I do think that Street Fighter 6 will have a big, like a massive spike on the entrants, and I can't wait to see that.
And I can't wait to see that as well. Speaking of Street Fighter 6 as well, because again, we're going to be bringing this up as we draw close to the time. Down there, we can bring up the page very shortly, but guys, I know you use your mobile phones. I know you got Street Fighter Duel on there, but also I need you to get TikTok on there, right? Because I know the guys that have been putting in countless hours to make sure they produce some good content for Street Fighter on the official Street Fighter TikTok page. I'm not sure we can actually put that on screen to show you guys, but there's some amazing stuff there. So if you open up your phones, go on the TikTok, hit Street Fighter on the search bar, and follow these guys. You're going to be seeing some content on there now up until the day of release. Heck, even after the game has released, there's going to be amazing content there as well. There was also something I wanted to show as well, just to remind people, but I don't know if we can get that up either. It is actually the Street Fighter 6 website, how well it's been put together, as well as how much information you actually see on that website. You might just have to hit Street Fighter 6 on the Google search bar and then hit the first link there, because there's actually quite a bit of stuff there. The artwork's up there. It tells you about the mechanics. It actually tells you, it has a graphic that explains training mode pretty damn well on there. So, I mean, I'd love
That's
people
really
to go.
nice, because I feel like training mode as a concept for a lot of people who might be familiar with, you know, different kinds of games in general, like, I feel like we don't really think about it as a weird concept, but like a lot of games don't really have that kind of an environment where there's so many peripherals and like settings which you can just adjust, and that's why people say in general that like you're playing training mode, because it's a different kind of a beast.
Hey, there is the website. Fantastic. So yeah, hit Street Fighter 6 in the search bar. It should take you here. It should tell you the date of the games coming out, the platforms. You can follow on Twitter. All the information's here, right? And you can even head over to the characters. It's got some really good artwork for the characters. And just have a perusal of this, man. It's really good how they put this together. And I'm not going to say it's going to satiate your hunger for the game, because I think each waking day people are not getting their daily dosage of Street Fighter 6. I'm pretty sure maybe one more developer match. Fingers crossed we get one more developers match or something before the game.
I was just
dropped.
gonna comment. Yeah, I was just gonna comment on the fact that I have been watching those developer matches religiously.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of good information that we can harvest from those videos. Let's just say that.
Do you know what's crazy? Look, they're not pro players, but just by watching them play, they get the creative juices flowing. And you're just like, oh, you can probably do this. Maybe Drive Impact can counter that. Maybe Drive Rush can work here. And I think, do you know what's funny? It's people when they're trying to guess the normal.
Yeah. That's the best part.
It's like, oh, is that stand up?
And I think that's actually been fun to kind of see, especially with characters like Cammy, for example. There was some speculation about certain normals, and like I just realized that, wait, like she has different normals in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, so people didn't realize her standing roundhouse, for example, because it's the same as it was in Street Fighter 4, and it's different in Street Fighter 5.
That was because obviously Street Fighter 5, for those who don't know, they removed proximity normals. Long story short, there were normals you had from a mid-range far distance and as opposed to up close. That's basically what proximity normals were. I don't think there's any proximity normals in 6.
No,
I think it's all target combos and normals, right? I think it's just okay. So yeah, that's it. So people, like you said, people might have forgotten what Cammy's stand roundhouse actually looked like. I suppose it was a damn good button. It was a damn good
and
button.
Obviously the engine is different, so people don't see everything clearly. Like, oh, it's exactly the same, for example. So I think it's really interesting to see how people, like, especially like you said, when the developer matches have been released in the social media, people have been theory crafting about all of that on Twitter. It has been really enjoyable to read and speculate as well.
Yeah, enjoyable to read, speculate, all kinds of things there. Now, we must be moving along swimmingly. So I did actually I got a cutout paper. It's technically a cue card, but I want to give a special shout outs to a guest we have here. You actually can't see him. He's in the back. He's actually helping out the production team. So shout outs to Lenny, because not many people do this these days. He's on work experience. He's actually being showed the ropes regarding how things work behind the scenes for not just esports, but just production for just like, TV and stuff in general. So shout out to Lenny for joining us. He's actually helping it out. He probably actually might take Richard's job, because Richard sometimes doesn't actually stay on cue. So Lenny, keep up the work. I love you, man. But anyway,
good job.
What we need to do now is we need to actually call in our guests, Zion Woods and Russ G, because I want to talk to these guys about a lot of things regarding Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6 as well. So when we get these guys on board, let us get underway and talk. So yes, let me find out. Do we have our guests? Russ G, Zion, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yep.
Yeah, like that.
Hey, perfect. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your day or your evening to come and join us on the show. Pleasure to have you both. Now, this is the first of 2 interviews that we have, so this is where we get to know each other. And obviously, I like to hear you guys' thoughts before you guys, sure you can inflict each other to death and then complain afterwards. So I want everyone to be nice first before they get a bit salty afterwards. I like to go with everyone. So the first question I like to ask my guests is the origins of your names, because these are very interesting names. So I want to ask Russ G first. Where does Russ G originate from? Where does that come from?
Okay, well, everyone loves a really interesting long story, right?
I'm down.
We do.
It's not an interesting or long story, this, at all.
Damn.
I was foolish enough to go with the government name, so my name literally is Rush. It has Rush in my first name.
Okay.
So, yeah, Rush and G comes from the initial of my last name. So, like a genius, I put the two together, Rush _G, and The tail literally ends there.
Okay,
So
but
Rush genius.
you know,
Rush genius.
listen, you should say what you should say is to anyone who asks what does the G stand for, is say you're free to interpret it however you want. That's it.
There's a lot of plays on the underscore G specifically. There's a lot of plays on it. There's loads of memes on the stream and stuff. So
Hey, listen, whatever boosts your publicity, and just in general, I think you should go with it. And then what you should do, because I know you stream as well, right? You should say, look, the G does not stand for these, and that list should ever increase every time someone gets it wrong. I just think it's hilarious to do that. But
I mean, we've.
Even sometimes, right, we have people that come on, it's like, look, I've just used my government name, I've just had this simple name, and even that works, because I remember we had Muscle Noob on the show, he said I couldn't think of a name, we saw, what did he say? He watched someone who played Counter-Strike called Fat Noob, and he said, well, I've got Muscle, I'll just nick his name. So he's done that. Who else have we had?
No, I just wanted to shout out Chris CCH as well, because, he uses the, CCH, and we still up to this day we do not know what that comes from. So he
said it's classified.
Same with you, Rush.
He said it's classified information. We don't know what CCH stands for, and we probably never know unless he slips up.
I'm gonna remix it. Next time I have to do this in the future, if it ever happens, I'll remix it. Everybody will forget by that time that happens.
Yeah,
so.
we can ask you again in the second interview.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what as well. I'll tell you what. I guess it makes it easier for TOs and probably yourself, because you don't want to have Hadouken Hater 81 in the bracket and then you never find him, right? It's just simple, Rush G, and then boom, we can go with that. And I guess it kind of suits Ken as well. I don't know, it matches the character. I don't know, maybe I'm just playing on it, but I like that. That was interesting. Zion, what about you? Zion Woods, have you followed the same route as Rush G has, or is there another meaning to Zion Woods?
Sadly, mine's also not that interesting. I wanted to call myself Akira, but because that's my middle name. But then there's just bare Akiras as well, so I was like, damn, can't go with that.
I mean, you could do what the Call of Duty players do, Akira 72, Akira XXO.
Or underscore.
You could have done it.
If you notice, I don't have any numbers anymore. It used to be Zion Wood 17, but I'm like, there's no point for the 17 anymore, because everyone thought it was because of my age, but it's actually just my favorite number.
Okay, no, fair. Wow. Everyone has their favorite number.
Woods isn't my last name though. It's just part of my last name.
Okay. So my next question is that why is 17 your favorite number? Is there a specific meaning to it, or is it just a pleasant number to look at?
I wouldn't say.
Sorry.
It's a nice number, but when I played football, I still play football, but when I used to play it a lot, in a team and everything, I just had 17 on the back of my shirt.
I get it. Sentimental value.
Okay, so it's kind of like the whole, when obviously the number 9 in football is designated to strikers, like who's the number 9, and maybe something like that. No, I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, do you know what? Sometimes your origin story to your name doesn't have to be complex, right? It can be interesting, and sometimes you have better names or simpler names than people who have this long-ass 200-page essay origin story that makes absolutely no sense. So I like that you guys played it safe. Now, speaking of which, moving on to the next thing I wanted to ask you. So you guys have had, at least in my eyes, for the both of you guys have had a very interesting journey in a positive way for Street Fighter V. Is it safe to assume Street Fighter V was your first fighting game seriously? Rusty, let's go with you first.
Yeah, I've played fighting games my entire life, but all games I played prior to 5, I just knew how to do combos. I was that guy jumping, heavy kick and sweep. That's about as advanced as it got, I'll be honest. So 5 is the first game I've taken seriously.
Okay. What made you want to take it seriously? Was it because you figured out there was a community involved, or did something else about the game appease to you at the time?
I think the driver for it was so Electronic Dojo. I wasn't aware of them at the time, but a good friend of mine knew them, and I didn't even know this friend of mine played fighting games. So we started playing fighting games together, and I got introduced to Electronic Dojo. They're the guys that run VSF and stuff, and I didn't know there was this online environment. This offline environment where people got together, played fighting games, and I was just like, wow, this happens. This is mad. And so there was local to where I live. A friend of mine started a small local scene.
Okay.
And from there, I just got to know the ED guys, and it just snowballed from then. I started making videos on YouTube, and yeah, where I am now.
Okay, well, we'll definitely get onto the YouTube thing in a second. And it's interesting. It's interesting that you mentioned your friend. You didn't know your friend playing fighting games. Trust me, there's some things that even the people in your closest circles you don't want to know. I'll tell you something very funny. There is a woman I've known for quite a long time, and she sees me leave the country, but she thinks I'm a salesman. I said, we'll just go with that. Like, we'll just go with that. I'm not selling anything, but like we'll go with that. But no, Olvaha, you wanted to say something real quick?
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask Rush about now that you've taken your like kind of first fighting game seriously. Is there like a concept or a thing that has been the most hard thing to learn for you on your Street Fighter V career?
I think it's the content creation. I think content creation is, I think that actually is very demanding. It's stay consistent.
Don't I know?
That's actually super interesting because a lot of people just, kind of give out a certain mechanic or like usually say something like neutral, but I think that's an actually really interesting answer, content creation.
Yeah, it's usually that. Let's hold the content creation thing real quick because I want to get back onto that. Zion, what about you? Is Street Fighter 5 your first game, or you played fighting games before this?
Nah, I haven't really played fighting games before this. I play a lot of games though. Like, I play all types of games. I used to play FIFA. I used to play Call of Duty with my friends.
Sound just like me when I was
younger. Fortnite.
Oh, I did play that. Don't worry, I stay clear away from that game. I definitely stay clear from that.
I play games like For Honor, if you know what that game is. Like, I've really enjoyed games, and I've been really good at them. And then I played Street Fighter 5 because if you've heard it before, like, my dad plays the game as well because that's what he grew up on.
Okay.
And then he beat me. He beat me like 27 times in a row before I got a game, and I'm like, this is never happening again. So I bought the game, and then now I'm here.
Nah, I like that. Now, let me ask you. Sorry to cut you off there. Let me ask you this: Do you like competitive games, PvPs, or do you? Because I know you say you play a lot of games, but a lot of the games you just mentioned there, you're playing against other people or with other people. Do you just like that competitive aspect, or is there something else?
I do like to compete a lot. Yes, I'm very competitive.
Okay, interesting.
Figures.
And then obviously he hit the reality check when his dad just beat him at fighting games. He couldn't quite understand why. No, listen. You know what, Zion? You remind me of me. I'll tell you this, right? I don't tell this story to many people. My dad taught me Virtua Fighter. He taught me that years ago. I think it was Virtua Fighter 5, and he used to beat me with the blonde woman. I can't remember her name. Her name keeps escaping me every single time. And I said, why do you keep beating me? And he said, because I'm just better than you. And I was just like, when you do something with your dad and your dad says something you can't quite accept, you're just gonna go, I'm gonna shut you out. I'm not old enough to do it now, but I will do it somewhere down the line. So I like the kind of motivation you have to play these games, and it's kind of brought you to this point today. So outside of that, when you got introduced to the competitive side of Street Fighter, was it different than what you expected it to be, or was it just, are you taking things in their stride as a new experience?
I wouldn't say it was different because when I first bought the game, I watched a lot of like Street Fighter. Like, I watched Punk a lot.
Okay.
And I saw him play, and I was like, damn, this guy's kind of cool. Like, he plays the game really cool. So I was like, I want to try to do that. So that's why I didn't actually start off playing Ed. I played Ibuki first.
Ibuki?
Yeah, I like making people guess. I like making people guess.
Yeah,
okay.
figures.
All right. No, we're delving into the heart of the matter because you're a youngin'. All right. Why do you like people guessing? What is it about the guessing element that you like?
Because seeing people guess wrong, it just means I've outsmarted you. Like,
wait. Hold on. Is it really outsmarting if both of you have a 50-50 chance? I think those are pretty good odds if you ask me.
That's the thing though. I don't think a lot of mix-ups are 50-50, but some, like Ibuki, she doesn't have 50-50. Like, there's a lot of different options to pick.
Okay.
Like with her V-Trigger 2, like she's got a low, she's got a high. You can just go side switch, she's got a grab. Like, it's just really, I just like thinking of different ways to just open you up, which is what's interesting.
So you like the variety of when you create a situation, you just like all the options you have, and you just like your opponent panicking because they don't know which one you're gonna pick.
Exactly.
Okay, I mean, but sometimes I think you've been smack banging a 50-50, you're like left or right, up or down, grab or strike, and yeah. And what happens? So what happens when you're on the receiving end? Do you like it then? You must like it, surely. It's a bit fair.
I play Ed. I got a one button DP. What are you talking about?
I mean, even then, you're still guessing to commit to that decision, and when you guess wrong, don't you like that feeling? I do.
I just think I get outplayed.
Really? Every time?
No, but do you know what? It's interesting that you class it as being outplayed when you both have the same odds.
It's not necessarily outplayed, but it's just like I just like reading people. Like, you've had a good read on me. You've read the read. Like, I respect like you getting that right, and I respect me getting it right as well.
Right. Okay. So why have you not played a grappler then? You literally sound like you want to play a grappler, but you haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I don't like grapplers.
But you like guessing.
Why?
I probably would have. I would if I played this game at the start, because I only played in. What's it now? We're in 2020. I played in August 2020.
Oh, so you came from the pandemic era.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
So if I played the game, I said it before, I probably would have played G, because G looked cool. I'm not gonna lie, G just looks really interesting and stuff.
Yeah,
But after I just found like characters I liked, so I never touched G. But playing a grappler now, it would be interesting, but I got to a point where I'm like, if I want to learn another character, I'm gonna play someone with like a fireball and a DP, because like those are things that transfer into other games. Because I like being able to anti-air, and even though I play Ed, which is funny.
It's very
so
funny.
I like being able to do all those things.
Okay.
And a grappler is just, you gotta take guesses. I like having the fundamental aspects of the game.
I can't help but feel you've just contradicted yourself.
A bit, but my logic makes sense to me.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's the only reality that matters in the end.
Well, you say that until you enter a tournament and your logic doesn't.
That's true. Yeah.
So
that's why I'm just waiting for a character that has literally everything.
I mean, he's in the game, is he not? He hasn't got a command grab, but he's in the game. You can play Luke.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm waiting until they have a command. You know, I should have played Akuma now that I'm thinking about it. He got a command grab.
Wow.
Raging Demon's cool.
Okay.
I mean, it's a very, very high investment command grab.
Very true.
Listen, it can win you the games, and there's probably 8 different ways into it, and your opponent will panic each and every time because they don't know how.
Exactly. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh man, that's brilliant. All right, let me go back to Rush, because it's something I have always wanted to ask Rush. Rush, what was your main incentive to produce YouTube content? Because coming into YouTube, it's a commitment now. It wasn't a commitment back probably 10 years ago or so. But one of the biggest things about it is being consistent. And I think the content that you produce is it's got a very interesting perspective of being consistent. So what was the initial motivation to get you into YouTube content?
I didn't know what I was doing in the game at all, so anything that I figured out, I'd be like, right, let me just make a video and put it on YouTube to come back to later. So like,
okay.
I didn't even know what like a frame trap was. So when I discovered what a frame trap was, I was like, okay, let me record these frame traps, and I just took them on YouTube. And I had no intention of doing YouTube or streaming at all. It was for my own benefit. Yeah.
So is it safe to assume, because I know someone who done exactly this? Was it safe to assume you kind of archived this for yourself? You kind of documented this for yourself, and you didn't necessarily unlist the videos. You just put them out there, and it's like, right, this is my process of learning the game, and I'll just let other people see it as well, because some people may be on your similar skill level, maybe a little bit lower. They like the way that you interpret the game and how you take notes. Is it safe to assume that you were kind of documenting your journey, just putting it on YouTube?
Yeah, you could say so. I mean, I was conscious. I knew that they were public, but I just assumed nobody would watch them. Just put them out there, and it's like, yeah,
you'd
they're
be
there.
very surprised about how YouTube works, my friend.
A question actually regarding that. So, did you at some point just notice like a breaking point where like the algorithm started treating your content differently? For example, did you have like a certain time frame where you noticed that, okay, I'm getting a lot more traction right now?
Not at the beginning. I used to get like comments here and there and questions. But where it kind of, I don't want to say blew up because it hasn't really blown up, but where I got a lot of views was where I was clipping things that people hadn't seen with Ken before. I noticed if I took snippets of sort of clips on YouTube, some of them got more views, like a lot more views. You'd actually see the views just, they'd start off slow and then shoot up in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, it's interesting.
Okay.
There was no nudity on the thumbnails or anything like that.
But okay. So, actually, speaking about content, I have one more question.
Oh,
so when you started when you started noticing that stuff, so when you noticed that you started getting traction with certain clips, did you start doing that specific kind of content more? Where you like kind of...
Did you feed into the algorithm basically?
Yeah, did you feed into where you like, okay, so this is what people are interested in, let me do more of this, or like...
Kind of, if I'm honest. Like I didn't like doing stuff like that because I felt like everyone was doing it, and I felt like it was a bit, I don't want to say corny, but do you know what I mean? I didn't want to...
Trust me, take it from someone. Listen, I stopped doing YouTube in 2020. I was doing it for 9 years prior. I've gone through a lot of things that you're going through right now. You can't accept how certain things are happening. It's like, is this really what people watch? And it's like, the content you're making, especially the kind of more analytical side, it's like, right, that's actually legit content, but at the same time, people are forgetting this lighthearted aspect, and people want to be entertained. They don't necessarily want to learn, they want to be entertained. But if you can kind of sneak in the kind of learning aspect, they'll never know because you've made them laugh, or you've done something that keeps them enamored by your video, if that makes sense, Rush.
Yeah, that's bang on. So I try and find like a middle ground. So if something was entertaining but interesting, that was bang on. I would sneak in some like trash TV in there, here and there. Do you know what I mean? Just for those particular individuals. So there's quite a mix of what goes on. But when I noticed the traction began, I saw the views increasing. Got to ride that momentum, and if you have a break or if you stop, you do lose that viewership. It's crazy. It's like you got to ride the wave, and you got to continue that feel with YouTube.
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you this, right? Do you find a lot of your days being eaten up? Because I imagine you do all the editing and the video producing by yourself, right? Is there anyone that helps you?
Yeah, there's been loads of sacrifices.
Right,
yeah,
so
loads.
It eats up a lot of your time. And then I imagine this has happened to you. You upload one video, and the moment it's done, that's probably taken you 2-3 days prior. And then the moment you stop that, it's uploaded, you got to work on the next one, and you don't really have time to improve at the game, go deal with like real life responsibilities or something like that. So it gets hard to juggle. And like you said, the moment you drop the ball, people just go to the next guy because of the vast variety of people that they can watch, and you just happen to be in their way, and the algorithm put you in their face at the time. The moment you stop, they've gone. So I don't know if that feels disheartening to you or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people that watch me know that I find it really hard to balance everything. So it's been a struggle. I think that's why I mentioned when you spoke about fighting games prior, I mentioned content, because I think if I hadn't done this, I do wonder if I'd entered more competitions, more tournaments, more events. But the time I had to do those things. And I'm happy I did it, but I do wonder what it would have been like if I didn't do that stuff.
Interesting, because that was one of the things I noted down. We'll get on to one or two more questions for Zion in a minute. That was one of the things, because I was going to ask you. It's like I haven't seen you compete much. You've been playing, but you don't compete. Now, I didn't know it was because real life occupation or something else, but now that you've kind of basically explained it, it's like it's content and how much it is. Have you ever considered doing what a lot of the pro players do? Just maybe stream their tournament run, make it something funny, or go to an event and record behind the scenes or whatever, or ask people some cheesy questions about, do you think Ken would be great with banana hair in Street Fighter 6? And then I don't know, have you ever considered doing that? Because it allows you to balance the competing side with the content creation, or are you more of a person that likes to laser focus on one thing?
The thing with everything I've just said, I do like playing the game. That's one thing I've been passionate about is just like trying to see how far I can push Ken in the direction that I want to take him in the game, if that even makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense, don't worry.
So I've still been playing the game actively and just doing my thing. So the main reason why I didn't enter many events is I just couldn't fit it in. So like on the weekends I have my kids, and that's the main reason why I didn't enter any salt mines on the Sundays.
Right.
Yeah, I used to enter Cross Moon used to run the online local. It doesn't run anymore now, and that used to be like a Saturday afternoon. That was okay for me. I could fit that in around like life and stuff. But I mean Senza as well. Senza runs new challenger events on Friday, and Friday. I mean literally as I finish work, event pretty much starts, and the kids are here, and it's difficult to juggle all this pretty much. So I really wanted to enter the World Warrior. I thought to myself, it's I'm at a level where I feel like I can compete somewhat. I really want to enter them, and I couldn't make many of them. So fortunate, I was a bit gutted about that.
Okay. No, do you know what? I like that you've... Because, a lot of people might not be able to articulate and come to a realization that they want to compete, but they can't because of responsibilities. And as you get older, because our youngest member here is Zion Woods, he hasn't got responsibilities yet, so he can play in as many tournaments as he'd like before he has to move on to that. But let me ask you, Zion, how has competing been for you? Because Olvaha did remind me, was it last year, 2021? You made a top 16 in one of the CPTs. Which one was it?
It was 20. It was the one that Forfils won the second time. So I want to say 2022.
Okay, I think it was that one. Now, I think you beat Broski along the way.
I should have, but I lost.
That was it. You should have beaten him. But who did you beat to get into the top 16?
So I played Gunslinger, if I remember correctly. And then I played someone else. I think I played a Laura. I don't know their name. Then I played Broski and lost. So I had to play Jester Power to get into top 16.
That was it. At that point, did you know the caliber of the CPT and what you had achieved then? Because making it to top 16 and being on stream to compete against some of the best in that region is not something anybody can do in their respective region or just in general. So how did that make you feel at the time, when you done that?
I actually felt pretty good because, funny enough, I actually entered the tournament before that as well. And I went 0-2, but I lost to people that were not better than me, like 100%. I was just very nervous.
Oh, wait. A lot of people make this mistake. Why don't you think they were better than you? You don't have to tell me who it was. Why don't you think they were better than you?
I don't even remember who they were.
That might be your ego kicking in right now.
Not even that. It was just a long time ago. So
okay.
I just felt like I wasn't playing how I usually play.
Okay.
And I took less risks. I done bad on defense, and I just went out before I knew it. And then I was really upset. I was on the fence about that. I was like, Dad, can't lie, I'm not playing this game anymore. Blah blah blah. I was just complaining. Didn't play the game for a while, and then I was like, I gotta stop like crying about the game, and just actually try to get better so that doesn't happen again. And then now then the next tournament I entered was the one where I made top 16. So as long as my mindset going into that tournament was do better than last time.
No, I like that, honestly.
I actually have one more question for Zion.
Go for it.
Obviously, you haven't played the game for a very long time compared to like some of the other people around, but do you have like a specific reason for your success and like rapid growth as a player? Do you have like sparring partners that you play regularly, kind of discuss the game with, or did you just watch a lot of content, or do you think it's like some specific reason? Do you have like a specific way to train or something like that?
I think there's a few reasons why I've like quote unquote had big success faster. So at the beginning, like I said, I watched a lot of Punk. I saw how the game was played at high level. So then I'm able to pick things up very fast, in my opinion.
Okay, so you are a fast learner then. Is it safe to assume that?
Yeah, I would say I'm a fast learner.
Okay.
And then the other reasons why I would say I've got big success is because I don't like losing.
Okay, yeah.
So like whenever I lost, I'd be like, cool, what happened? I'd note what happened and I'd get better. That's why I'm actually, funny enough, I played when I first hit Diamond, I played Rush G a lot and he smoked me like all the time.
Ooh.
And I'm like, yo, this is gonna change. Like this is hurting me. I was like, this gotta stop.
An encore, right?
So I was like, cool, I gotta just play it. And then I was also on his YouTube and he's said that I improved a lot faster than he thought I would as well. Because I remember the conversation because it was just nice to hear. But with the sparring partners bit, I actually I wouldn't say I have sparring partners. There's people that I would like to play a lot, but now that the game's like in the dire stages and no one plays it more because there's no tournaments, there's no one to really play with.
All right, let's. We're gonna, because we are short on time. Right, give me 4 players that you've wanted to play in this game.
Can I include it?
Yeah,
Can I include international as well?
It could be international. Give me 4 players that you. Okay, let me rephrase it. 4 players you want to play in Street Fighter. Any 4 players.
I really want to play. I want to play Punk.
Okay.
I would like to play. I'm trying to think outside of Europe because I've played some of them as well already.
Okay.
So I want to play Punk. I want to play Idom.
Okay.
I would say, who else? I would like to play Daigo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also want to play Koano.
He wants to uppercut Daigo, that's why. You want to play Koano as well? Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
so
I think Koano is very good.
Nice list.
Nice mixture. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to note this down somewhere. In Street Fighter 6, somehow you're going to try and fight all 4 of those people. Somehow. Don't care how long it takes. As long as the game is active and alive, you will find a way to try and face them. Even if it is you have to sub to Daigo's channel to get first to 1. I'll buy his book. Something.
First in the lobby, baby.
I bet. Listen, we'll see how it goes. But right, gentlemen, we are short on time, so I've got one last question to ask you before we get you guys set up in this lobby. I like to ask this question because someone might surprise me in the process of this. So, Street Fighter 5 has been out for a long time. Rusty, let me get your opinion on this first. Who do you think is the best character in Street Fighter 5 and why?
That's easy. I don't even. You all know what I'm going to say, right?
Now, listen. Someone fooled me with that, and they said somebody else. So indulge me.
It's Luke. Luke is the best character. He's very well rounded. He has a good matchup spread, tool set, good damage, good corner carry, good V triggers, good V skills. Yeah, I think he's the all-round package. He should never have been in this game.
He should wait. So you're saying he can do your taxes, your laundry. He can be your chauffeur.
We're talking outside of Street Fighter now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but
babysitting.
He should never have been in this game. Why do you think he should not have been in this game?
I just think he's too
good for this game.
Too good for this game. Yeah, he's too well rounded.
Wow.
Very, very good, very strong.
Interesting. I think you're the first person who's articulated that way. Everyone expresses their disdain, but they said, I don't think you should have been in this game. You should have just left him in 6. That's interesting. Zion, what about you? Who do you think is the best character in the game?
I say Dhalsim and Sim. Dhalsim and Luke can share top spot. I hate Dhalsim with a passion.
Okay, so that's coming from the heart. That one's coming from the heart.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing the same. Funny enough, he's the only character I ever complain about. I don't think he's playing the same game. I don't think he's playing the same game as us.
Okay.
He's also the complete character because even though he doesn't have a DP, he's got way too many defensive options. He's got air gale. He's got V shift. His V triggers are broken. If he just throws you into a corner and activates V trigger, you're losing health for sitting there and blocking.
I mean,
he's done nothing.
Listen, let me tell you something. Contemporary fighters, you get punished for blocking, I'm afraid. They've been doing this for about nearly 8 years now, so that's not particularly new. But Dhalsim makes you guess. You like guessing, don't you? That's what you told me before.
Dhalsim makes you guess, but there's also no
He's
risk? Actually very hard to play at high level, but there's low risk. Like you can either sit back.
I think you're contradicting yourself again. You said there's no risk, but he's hard to play. The two can't correlate.
He's hard. He's not hard to play. He's hard to master, I should say, because there's not many Dhalsim players that are at the level that I think Dhalsim is at.
Okay.
But because Dhalsim, I also think there's just a problem in general with zoners.
All right, I'm going to change your perspective on this right now. I'm going to change your perspective. Wow. All right, here you go. Instead of looking at them as zoners, why don't you think of them as rushdown characters who can zone?
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, all zoners are rushdown they're all rushdown characters, so it makes no sense.
I mean, I think it makes perfect sense. It's a fighting game. They're not supposed to make sense.
No, you're supposed
supposed to rush you down.
You're supposed to have a weakness.
Okay, so let me ask you this: does Ed make sense?
No, he does not actually. No.
So can I answer that?
Wait, do you know what? Okay, Russ,
Ed
answer
has
this question, and then Rush, ask that question. Then we got cut to break. Go for it, Rush.
Just a stupid character. Just,
He's a very annoying character. Yes.
Ed, sorry, yeah, very, very annoying. Ed and Falk are just, they're just a mistake.
I think Falk's better than Ed, but no one wants to hear that.
And on that note, we are going to cut to the break. When we come back, I'm going to get these two in the lobby. We're going to continue this conversation after the first to 10. I don't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. So, ladies and gentlemen, give us 5 minutes, and we're going to get these guys in the lobby for this first to 10. Be back with you very shortly.
よろしくお願いします。さあどっちが勝つんでしょうか。心理戦にも注目していきたいです。いいのが入りましたね。今いいよいいよ。いやー頑張れ。なんかこっちが緊張する。いやーここ気が抜けないですね。出た SA 技。おおしっかり倒しきりましたね。どっちが勝つのこれ。いやもう頑張って。うわこれは痛い。いいんじゃないですかこれ。いけそうですよ。この場面でいい感じに溜まっております。ゲージがなんかもうすごいことになってるよ。うわ決まっちゃいましたね。最高の試合でした。いやもう2人とも天才すぎ。お疲れ。
You can connect with a net battler on the other side of the planet whenever you want. Cyber Society sure is something.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to tonight's episode of Sets featuring Rush G and Zion. If you are just joining us now, then don't worry. Buckle your seatbelts, fasten in. I hope you have your snacks and drinks ready because the first to 10 is about to get underway. Yeah, fantastic. I know that you're here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for gracing with your presence, Olvaha. But now it is the first to 10. It is going to be a good one. Ed versus Ken. The Ken Nation. I see Rushy has a couple of fans in the chat as well.
I see Muscle Noob in the chat as well. Shout out.
But let's not forget, man. Zion, again, I found it very interesting. The people that come from the lockdown era. We had Snowboy before. We've had Ending Walker. We've had, obviously, Zion's here as well. We've had multiple people. And I don't know why it's still surprising to me, but at the same time, it's because there's a wealth of knowledge on the internet and social media and how people consume social media. And Zion was alluding to it before. He said he will class himself, the way he's describing it as well, he will class himself as a fast learner. So if you kind of put the formula or the answer in these young people's faces, they'll just gobble it up.
You give the ingredients and you give the recipe. Like, so basically when you give the ingredients and you give the recipe, these people can, cook up.
Yeah, right. So we've seen this matchup a fair bit in the UK with Muscle Noob and Ending Walker. Shouts to those guys. This could be a different perspective on the matchup. Like we said, Zion has actually made a CPT top 16. Something that not many people can do. Rush, like you said, couldn't compete as much, but he's been producing content in that regard, so it's good to see.
Yeah, you say top 16, but also in one of the most high-level regions as well.
Yes, because the UK is a absolute shark
stacked.
It is indeed. So good start here is Rush at the moment. So he's picked the skill 2, the Psycho Swing. So that does go through Hadouken. Oh, missed the confirm, unfortunately. Okay, that was a decent punish there. I thought you would have spent the bar there, Zion, but he left it. Gets a throw though.
Also noticed that Rush G already kind of showing that he can punish the flicker on whiff, which is really important because obviously it's such a strong tool on block, so you need to be able to see if it's gonna whiff or not.
Now there's probably gonna be nice counter hit confirm off a delayed jab. There's probably gonna be 1 or 2 combos that Rush does with Ken that you probably rarely see or haven't seen before. I've seen actually come up with some really cool follow-ups or extensions with Ken, mainly in D-Trigger actually. And he said it before, he documents his process of how he learns things. So look at that.
Wow, okay, that was such a sick DP, but also I want to say that Rush has been utilizing that target combo in a very, very highly efficient way already. Like, it just shows that it's like a big part of his game. Clearly.
It is indeed. We're waiting for Zion to rev the engine very shortly. Is he going to activate? He will. I'll play with the
this is the engine.
Charging medium punch, takes advantage of that. Nice jump back, that's dead, that should be done.
Yeah.
Not quite.
That's definitely something that Ed players will be looking when they have the V-Trigger 2 activated.
Now, I'm not sure if what... Ooh, nice V-shift. I'm not sure if what Rush did there on the jump back was optimal. I think he'd done something different, but we'll take it anyway. He's got a substantial life lead here.
Oh, nice! Yeah. He was anticipating that. On the standing jab range, he was anticipating for the jabs to come out for the flicker. Just straight up answer. Beat it with a nice normal. Ken has plenty of those nice normals.
So that was an exceptional first round there from Rush G. Jump back on the charge Psycho Knuckle, ready with the punish on the whiff flicker. He even stopped the Psycho Knuckle with a heavy Shoryuken. The knowledge is here, and you know what? Some people do make this mistake. If this was the first to 2, this would definitely rattle the feathers of Zion, but this is first to 10. So we'll see how this goes in the long run.
That was pretty optimal. DP
oh,
punch. Oh, and 1 second the DP.
He heard me.
The DP.
Nah, he heard me.
You gotta defeat the Shoryuken.
Okay, so it looks like Zion's gonna have to space himself and do the non-charge version of Psycho Knuckle. So he can't keep committing to it. He's gotta bait him.
And one thing that obviously makes Ken such a strong character is that he gets Oki after every DP, so it definitely sets him out as one of the strongest characters, and probably the strongest Shoto in the game right now.
He's trapped in the corner right now. There's gonna be pressure. Sure, you get the breakout and the side swap, and he's gonna go. Yeah, I told you. All right, I don't see people doing that.
That's so good.
I don't see people doing that. That looked pretty expensive, but he splurged the meat and he got extra damage, and he still got the exact same Oki situation.
But sometimes, even if it costs a lot, you're getting into the best position this character can have, and because Ken thrives in the corner.
He's done that. The 3 times he's attempted it, he's been 3 for 3, so this is really good from Rush. Exceptional.
Nice answer.
Back throw will do the trick here. And he goes for
Gonna
forward
be
throw instead.
so rough in the corner here. Oh, and he got baited. Nice patience from Rush G. He's gonna take that second game pretty fast. Nice pacing he's setting up already. Like he has the momentum clearly.
Oh, listen, somebody did some practicing prior this exhibition indeed. Again, exhibiting
Even
the
with
answers,
limited time.
showcasing the, like, some combos I haven't actually seen or some follow-ups. Like I said before, man, I've watched these guys, and I actually want people to pay attention to both of these two come SF6 because they're on the up and up, I do feel. 2-0 to Rush G right now in record time. This might be one of our fastest times as we've lost connection. I don't know why we lost that. I don't want to give you this no signal
We got
thing.
crush countered, bro.
Yeah, clearly we did, but we're going to bring it back to you as soon as we can. As soon as we can bring it back to you, I'd love to do that.
I mean, I can hear the sounds.
I can hear it too, but... Right, all right, there we go. Anyway,
we're going to commentate based on the sound?
We're going to bring it back to you as soon as you can. I don't know if the stream can hear the sound, but they can hear me, though. So we're going to let those guys play out that third game there because I will see that. I can give you radio commentary, but I don't think the FGC is ready for radio commentary just yet. There we go. He wins the round anyway. Damn, Ed was that good that we couldn't actually see what was going on. Anyway, that's all right. We're back in the game.
The psycho power interrupting the connection.
It's all good. Maybe it was a short you can. I don't know. Charges up. See, he wasn't ready. He'll get it. He'll be consistent with it, but he won't get it every single time because, again, that does not necessarily play on your reactions. That requires you to focus a fair amount.
Yeah, but there's some things that Ed has that tests the reactions of the players, like loaded up V skill 1, for example, that's charged up standing fierce. A lot of those things are like, you can answer them consistently, but you can't do that every time necessarily.
All right, now he's trapped in the corner and a walk-up throw. He built that. He conditioned Rush to sit there because of the flicker pressure. Another throw will do it. He's waiting, yeah, and he knew it. He thought that he was waiting for a Shoryuken, so he took advantage of that and went for the crouch medium punch instead.
Oh, you gotta be careful. Like, this is one of the best rushdown tools in the game. EX Fireball cancelled into the run when Ken has the V-Trigger. It's such an oppressive tool. And, like, honestly, a piece of advice I'd give to anyone, if they don't have the V-Trigger activated, just use the V-Reversal.
Well, here's the thing. You're looking at some of the most aggressive characters in the game.
Yeah.
So they're both like fighting fire with fire, no pun intended, essentially. Against the target combo, still gets hit with the Psycho Upper. I think he's only blocked one so far, Rush G. Oh, these guys are letting the reversals fly.
Fists will fly at this location.
There's a EX Psycho Knuckle extension. Good tech there from...
Oh, nice.
Rush put to no avail. So that's going to be one game on the board for Zion. 2-1. We weren't going to see a runaway 3-0 there to kick things off.
I mean, that's really good for Zion to be able to get that important win after 2 losses, because 3-0 is already, like, it feels like, sometimes it feels pretty insurmountable. Obviously, it's a longer set, but, like, when someone really gets a number early on in you, it's gonna demoralize you no matter what.
Depends on the character, depends on the player. I've seen people come back 10-9 from a 9-0 deficit. It's possible.
I love those.
Well, it's embarrassing for the guy that went 9-up, but it is doable. I guess the extension in the corner, delay, that should be stun, yeah. He's not going to build the bar for 1 bar, but he can get a meatless extension here. Trying to go for a reset, sneaky.
A backdash from the corner, giving some space to Rush as well.
Oy.
Oh, and just... Oh, yeah. Tried to get a turn there after the blocked flicker, but no avail. Zion was ready.
Well, Rush G's trying to mix things up, right? He was blocking before.
That's good. That's actually really good.
I think he's checked things with the light kick prior that as well. So this time he tried to sneak in a dash, but you got to anticipate the dash pretty much 9 times out of 10.
I mean, I think that's a really smart way to try and tackle the flickers, because, like, obviously Ed is minus, but you gotta be able to learn how to try and challenge with a dash, or, you know, try and stuff with a bun.
He's not dead. He's spending the bar. I don't agree with that bar spending, but I guess he wanted to put him at 1 guess for the game, because that could have gone south immediately. But you know what? Shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's 2 apiece right now. Great response in what Rush did with that 2 quick games.
Ed,
immediately.
I mean, Ed in the corner with the crouching medium punch cancelled into the flicker is like just bulldogging you in the corner. It's such a hard thing to deal with, especially with some characters. Like some characters obviously don't have the tools that Ken has, for example. So it's like even more oppressive in the corner.
I mean, you talk about Ed's corner pressure. Ken's got some pretty strong corner pressure as well.
Sure.
I mean, I think people like, you know, lament about Ed's corner pressure more than Ken's nowadays because you see a bit more of Ed, but I think he's on a
lies
similar
detected.
level. Oh, and he pressed the
Oh,
target
nice
combo. Delay pressure. No, baited him. That's what we were talking about before.
Bait from Zion.
This is exactly what we were talking about before. He sees this, so he's reacting to the start. He's not reacting to the movement necessarily. Back to the start.
I guess he really is a fast learner.
Back throw. Takes you halfway across the screen. That's not going anywhere for another 7 years in Street Fighter 6. Here comes the guard break.
Oh boy.
When's he going to release
You're gonna see a lot of those, my friend.
When's the Shoryuken coming? That's the question.
One more. We still got one more left in the tank.
You can still bait him with the last. Pressure with the
Punch goes for a throw. Rush doesn't quite have the B trigger, just gets smacked in the face by the standing fierce there.
Interesting. Because he's been putting himself in the right position to do the jab flicker from the because he'll do the medium punch flicker first, and then once he's got Rush G to block, then he'll walk a bit closer, encroach on that space, and then he'll do the jab flicker, and we'll work from there. That's when he can really unleash the throw, the crush counter stand fierce. He'll go for a knockdown there though.
I like how Zion is also using the charged fierce to try and get out of the corner. That was a really nice super from Rush.
Good choice. He wants the damage. He wants the corner as well. Is he going to double dash throw? Is he going to respect that cycle up? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. There you go. He respected it. I think he did the jab meaty anyway, but he was conscious of it. And at that point, Zion only spent 1 bar, and he knows he's going into a final round here. There's a lot more work Rush G had to do to get that last round then.
Yeah.
Zion would have to do to close out the round.
Ooh, no punish there. Unfortunate for Rush. That stand.
Got him again.
Ooh, that was such a good DP.
And I guess with the positioning that Rush G's put himself into, that buff that Ken got, back in 2021, I think it was, the Shoryuken extension hitbox, that helps this kind of playstyle a lot more.
Yeah, it does. There were a lot of Ken players that tried to utilize that stuff before the patch, but after that, they've been thriving.
Uh-oh. Activate. I'll play with you, Dean. Can he sneak in another throw? He tried.
I'll play with you in the
No,
corner.
he missed it. He missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, he did the hard part. He might lose the game. You are definitely losing the game. You are going to hit me. Psycho Barrage. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be the game.
Sometimes it really does surprise how this character can dish out so much damage.
He did the hard part there, Rush. He got the counter hit, crouch jab into the low forward. Maybe he tried to input fireball and then did the super, or if he tried to do the super, I've had a little bit of a hiccup there in terms of maybe because you know sometimes people get the hit and then they don't register until.
Yeah. I think it was like he was already dialing in the hit to cancel from the super. That's how I interpreted it anyway.
Alright, so it's 3-2. Damn it. You know, Rush could have taken the lead there. How is he? He got 3 games on the bounce from a 2-0 deficit. Now, this was top 8 CPT tournament play. What a comeback this would have been.
Love to see it, though. Anything can happen at this point.
Right, now they're playing in that mid-range. They're trying to get their crouching medium punches and crouching medium kicks to connect. And Rush is getting a bit impatient.
I just want to give a shout out to Ed's standing medium kick. One of the best anti-airs in the game, also works in the neutral fantastically.
It was an overlooked anti-air. I'll say that much.
Yeah, that's true. For a long time.
Well, it's here to stay now. No backseas.
It's very cursed sometimes.
All right, nice.
Nice buffer.
All right, he's just going to let him escape from the corner. No V-shift there from Zion. He wants his Ultra Snatcher activation. Here it comes. And he tried to interrupt. He might try to do a Shoryuken there because there's a gap. There it is.
He's going to do the side switch here. Smart play from Rush.
He's got to wait.
Corner.
Take the guard break. He's got to wait. He has to wait. Yeah. Take another guard break.
Now he...
Oi! Yes!
So good! Not just enforcing the mix-ups when you're up close, but also as an engager there. The EX fireball into the run.
That's a big risk though, because if you fully charge that, because you're reacting to it, you could get hit, counter hit, unscaled damage straight to the corner. So I like the answers there, but that's a huge risk from Rush G then.
High octane gameplay.
What? My man just slumped him in his face.
I mean, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
You're damn right. Psycho swing straight to the corner. Shoryuken. These guys are slugging it out and they're not blocking. Throw.
Oh, what's gonna be? What's it gonna be?
He's dead?
That's gonna be dead. Wow! At the last hit there.
Wow.
Nice. Optimized, would you say?
Yeah, well, I can't agree more with that, but it's like, I think I do misjudge Ken's heavy Shoryuken when he's in V-Trigger 1 a lot of the time. I think it's not going to KO and it does. EX Shoryuken as well, I misjudged that. I think I see, at least when watching, I misjudge the spacing on Fireball into the run because sometimes I don't think the Dragon Punch is going to connect from the run, but listen, this is why he's a Ken specialist and I'm not.
I mean, this is why I'm watching.
And he catches him again. Crush counter with the hard kick. That might be his first crush counter from the hard kick, to be honest.
I think so. Just flickers here and there.
Trying to get in that range.
Oh, I like it how he didn't go for it instantly. This time he was a bit more cautious about using the flicker.
Crush counter. He done that dangerously close there, but he got the crush counter. Gonna build a bit of scaling here, and he's too far to get that combo. So he's gonna have to make a big decision here. Is he going to do? Ooh, nice pickup.
Yo, that was sick.
That was
he used the standing jab. Yeah. Was that like a frame kill or something? I don't know.
So into the EX Tatsu, that was definitely a frame kill. I think the situation after where he got the fireball and then he ran after it, that might have been like a somewhat true block string.
Yeah.
Or something close
to that.
But
you definitely don't see a lot of Ken players do like that.
Pressure being applied here, and he has to wait because, again, he has to make an executive decision very soon.
Yeah, he needs to be his own CEO at this point.
Blocks it out here. No V-reversal from Rush just yet. He might need a V-reversal soon. He's still being stubborn.
Oh, nice answer there. Gets out of the corner. Oh, but gets pushed in back. That's such a tough spot to be in.
Shoryuken again. He's not ready. So the thing is, Rushji's respecting Psycho Upper more than Zion's respecting his Shoryuken. And I can bet you any money if we ask him that, he's going to say, I wasn't expecting to do it this much.
Nice.
All right, they go to the final round.
Dead even right now.
Game 7 here.
Yeah.
Backdashes.
Gonna challenge. Ooh. Flicker tried to answer with the standing medium punch.
There's a punish there. He didn't confirm that low forward before there, Zion, so he had to eat that punish from the Shoryuken on the roundhouse for his troubles.
Nice.
Watch out for the Psycho
combo. Into the corner we go. Once again.
Yeah, he's doing the charge knuckles to get out of the corner.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Does that didn't work? I don't know if that actually worked.
I'm not really sure if that's...
We can ask him, but...
Yeah, we should.
Give him the benefit of the doubt, say it's an execution error, but...
Yeah.
He's waiting for the guard break situation. He might have to do a raw guard break at this point, but he might get jumped in on.
Unfortunate, doesn't have meter, but I mean the life difference. Nice work. I was gonna say the life difference is kind of nice for Rush G, so he has some options even if he ran out of the meter. But that was a really, really clean DP, obviously.
Well, he's had consistently clean DPs thus far in this set. I think Zion's biggest problem is... It's somewhere between miscalculation of spacing, or you're not respecting Shoryuken that much against your tools. Because you're throwing them out liberally, and he probably does mentally understand the consequences, but I think he's not registering in the set. So he's limited to using Flicker, but he can't get in that range. He's using the buttons where it feels Rushji's beating him at times. Yeah, he just needs to go back to the basic, un-deux-trois.
I mean, this has been all Flicker thus far.
That's it. Look.
Two medium kicks and a only flickers.
And 60% has been lost.
Yeah. Just goes to show how powerful of a tool that.
That's what we call risk-averse gameplay. So again.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Is somebody gonna stop this man?
No, don't need to. No Shoryuken. Yeah, here comes the stun.
Oh, he tried to go for a throw there.
Back throw. Walk up in his face, and he keeps trying to interrupt that. Now, there is a gap for invincible moves, but I think he's getting the timing wrong, and it's cost him 2 rounds so far.
Yeah.
It's cost him 2 rounds.
At this point, any round is going to give a big benefit to any of the players, so gotta be careful.
Oh, he could have got a Shoryuken there, but he might not have been practicing that. He might have been practicing the Shoryuken punish against specific moves, and maybe Roundhouse was not in the cards. With punish there into EX Psycho Knuckles.
Straight into the corner there. Okay, setting up the EX for the plus frame.
He's not biting. Yeah, he's not biting. Just yet. He'll take the stun. That should be dead. 2 bars and a dream. That should be dead. I think he did the wrong combo, but I could be wrong.
Or maybe he was... Oh, hold that thought. We're going to the other corner. Coast to coast, baby.
You can't lose this. Not from here.
Coast to coast, baby.
Fireball run. Yeah, and he's out of there.
Oh, that's nice. Use that meter.
He can
Use
do it
that
again
defensive
as well.
meter. Yeah. He's gonna do another EX fireball. No, okay.
I think Rush needs a jump. I think he legit needs a jump.
Yeah, he needs a jump to kill.
I don't think he's gonna win this on the ground, but I could be wrong.
Oh, hold on.
Just do a DP.
That's not over.
Oh, he did the 5-head defensive option, and he did jump light kick because he thought you're gonna throw me for safety reasons. We'll take it there, but damn, he did that when basically his opponent had no life. He said this is almost guaranteed.
Gotta use that dome.
No, that was sick. That was clean. I gotta give him that. Honestly.
That was cool. Yeah.
He's had a couple of hiccups, but in those do or die situations, he made a decision.
That was clutch.
Yes.
Could be really demoralizing to lose that round there.
Pressure being applied here, and he gets the throw again. Again, it's been like 50-50 for me. Like, he's used the Psycho Knuckle to get out of the corner, but other times it's been punished in the mid-range. And
yeah, I don't think it's worked as well outside of the corner situation. I agree.
Oh, that's the low forward into EX, Tatsumaki, straight to the corner. Is he going to try and charge the Knuckle to get out of the corner, but is Rush not going to give him any breathing room? He is suffocating him in the corner right now. There's a forward for him.
Okay, once again, we're back into the throw.
Got him. He did say I like my characters with fireballs and DPs. I got 1 button DP. And I'm going to tell you, he's had like a 20% success rate thus far.
You know what, Jammerz? I've never heard of an Ed player who says that he doesn't like the character if they're playing Ed.
I mean, I still like the fact that he said he likes guessing, but he doesn't like guessing against all these characters. That's what he told me.
That was so good.
Pressure being applied, and he gets the knockdown.
Nice.
Lovely stuff. Back throw for the stun.
Didn't get anything else out of that counter hit, so that was nice awareness from Zion.
Good straight to the corner here as well. I like that combo as well. And a wake up Tatsu. He's really bringing out the Ken options on defense.
That's textbook.
Oh, he could have converted, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Believe. Or maybe his company closed out without the Psycho Knuckle. Who knows?
I don't know, but that's kind of greedy if you think about it that way.
Hey, listen. This man has been contradicting himself in interviews. I know where I love Zion, but
that's fair enough.
Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes you will be greedy. You got to learn the hard way. We've all been greedy at those points.
Okay, nice. Gets the EX follow-up once again. Easy to confirm. Nice chunk of damage, keeping the corner as well. Just plus frames. Oh, and the DP once again for Rush.
Yeah, and he picks these very specific timings to commit to an EX or Shoryuken because he blocks for a little while, give you that false insecurity that he's going to take it all. He breaks away. He might go for another opportunity here,
in the corner. Oh, and that's like... I mean, you might have several ways to try and answer the flicker, but sometimes there's those moments that it will just catch up with you and you will just have to eat another one.
Yeah, indeed. Again, I think the most success Zion has had has been on the left side of the screen when he's got Rush in the corner. He's taken a couple of Shoryukens and the situation has changed from that, but I think that's where most of his success has come from. I will say as well, he's actually been taking advantage of... Oi! There you go. Ooh. I'm actually about to mention that. It's been on and off, but he's been taking advantage of the heavy Shoryuken reactions at times.
I think Ending Walker is a good example of a player who does that a lot, so I think Zion should probably take a page out of his book on that. Try to utilize it more.
Oh, you already took a page out there. He picked Ed. Pressure being applied.
2 letters, baby.
Punish there. No, it's too far. Good cancellation, though. That should have been a punish there on Zion's end, but...
I was wondering.
Rush counter. He's not dead, though, from this activation. He's going to take him straight to the corner here. It's going to be guess for game, unless he resets him.
I like that. And I also really like that he went for the activation. He knew that the scaling was going to be tough, but he gets the corner, and that was the most important thing in that situation. Get him into the corner.
I think Rush should have been aware of that as well. That reset should have been coming. It's kind of hard for the defense to identify a reset sometimes.
Yeah. Ooh, big stat fierce, though.
Okay, again. Here we go. Oki again. That's going to be stunned. That will be stunned.
Right now.
Not quite. This is even better. That's even better.
Yeah. That's the round, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, how about that? Again, constant back and forth. Again, full credit to Olvaha for getting these two on the show. It's been constant back and forth this far.
I mean, this has been like Zion did tweet that he was gonna try to be as entertaining as possible, and I think he's already succeeded in that.
No punish there. Again, some people do slightly misjudge the range on Ed's standing hard kick. He gets a counter hit conversion into the psycho upper from the snap medium kick.
Dash.
Yeah, he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait again, and he can't keep waiting like this. A couple of throws might take him out of the game here. There's one.
That forward medium punch in the corner can be so oppressive if the Ed player is good at mixing up their options.
Is it constantly
guessing.
All right, there we go. One more hit will do the trick here, and he takes it with standing medium punch. And there you have it. Taking the lead.
Okay, 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, okay, we got more than the 2. Well, we might get more than a 2-win streak again, because obviously Zion came 3 back on the bounce after that losing 2-0 here. Now it's on Rush again. The rally of adaptation here. Again, Rush has shown basically has exhibited all the answers, or the majority of the answers. It's you have to
jump
pick
backs
and choose
on the fear, stuff like that.
Okay, there's consistently punishing something, and there's picking when to do it, because you kind of want to let your opponent know or feed them false intelligence.
Yeah.
To think they can go back to doing it again, you're not ready to react with it. It's easier said than done. Easier said than done, but...
Exactly.
Hard kick again.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, okay, the heavy buttons are starting to catch Rush G now, because he's not using Flicker as much right now.
Yeah. I feel like the Flicker strategy has definitely been the best, most successful one so far.
What's the safest one?
Yeah, and the safest one as well.
Backs away, and he tried to challenge that, and he's going to take big damage for this. I wouldn't even take this risk if I were you. And he did!
Once
and he's going to win the
this
round!
guy. Nice, it goes for the EX. Oh, sorry, the Tatsu.
I gotta say, right, there's a sense of danger in life, there's a sense of danger in Street Fighter. Right now, Zion is not showing any sense of danger.
Yeah, it's like, is it, like, I start doubting myself, like, is it even dangerous if it lands every time, man?
Listen, that philosophy does work in certain aspects of play. It's not quite consistent all the way.
It's not consistent, yeah. But that's the mentality some people play with.
Listen, they're just here to have a good time.
I mean, that's the best attitude you can have.
Life is a once in a lifetime experience. You get no runbacks in that. Might as well enjoy it to the fullest.
Oh, wow. We're getting really deep.
All right, here we go. Into the
nice
Tatsu. Oh, he tried to do it again and he missed it.
That has been costing him a lot. Like, you should be really careful about trying to challenge that with specific tools. Jump back seems to be a pretty good option, but I don't know.
Now notice there, this is where it's going to get interesting. So if Rush G mistimes the Shoryuken punish on the charged Psycho Knuckle, he might be scared to do anything when Zion does low forward into Psycho Knuckle, or sorry, Psycho Upper activate, because he's worried that he might get it wrong. He's been consistently getting it wrong until he regains confidence in the blink of an eye.
Oh yeah, and now we're going to the corner with the crush.
Watch out for the upper again. Watch out. Okay.
A lot of meter for Rush to use as well. The EX Fireball, so for example, that's very nice.
Right, here we go. Shoryuken, jab throw will do the trick.
One throw.
And
yeah, there you go. That's such a good option. It's the same with the EX Psycho projectile from Ed. Like, it's the same situation. Like, it's such an oppressive corner too. Like, the cross frames. Like, it's such a good round ender as well.
So one thing that I got to give credit to Rush G for, that situation there, light kick into EX Fireball happens with his V-Trigger version as well. There's a gap in between that, so it is a frame track technically, because the Fireball leaves in plus. You could have V-shift there to punish, but because he had no health and needed the V-Trigger to come back, he wasn't going to give it up, because I think Zion pressed the button there.
That's the beautiful thing about it. Probably realizing that he can, like, use the V reversal, or the V shift, but like just taking out the options from Zion in that situation, because he knows that he's gonna need the V trigger for a comeback. That's smart.
Go for the back throw there, and he tried to bait something with that jab, or maybe catch him off guard there, and he takes a turn though. Do you know what? That situation has happened multiple times and nothing's happened on his end. He took a risk there. And he gets Oki from that if it hits, so...
Oh, okay, he's gonna get a nice combo from this as well.
What a juggle.
Sick.
Play with the
I like that activation as well.
Alright, closing it out there with that round. Again, he's got 1 game up. Can he make it that 2-game buffer here? Or is Rush G gonna try and make this equal once again?
Dash up from Zion, feeling feisty.
Oh, he jumped, he didn't commit, he didn't commit. He could have got a clean jump in there, but he already had EX Tatsu in his mind.
OP as well from Zion, gets the corner. Straight roundhouse healing as well, Rush G.
Back throw again. He missed EX Tatsu, that was EX Tatsu and he didn't get it. Forward throw. Oh, the delay from the walk-up! And he said counter hit, so he might have done a double jab instead.
Oh, what's gonna happen now? Oh, they both activate.
Fireball run is coming. He's got to, yeah, he has to back up to do it. But he has to take the guard break instead. Is he going to break away from this or is he going to save it? He's backing away.
Gonna do a DP.
He can't handle this, Olvaha. Yeah. Oh, he can't handle it!
I didn't say that. Is it gonna be the DP? It was the DP. Rush G has been wearing his cards on his...
Damn, that was insane. Final round in this next game here. 7-5 is different to 6-6, I can tell you that much. Backs away. Flicker into the knuckle, straight to the corner.
It's a big breaking point for Zion. Is he going to take the 2-game lead?
He's going to jump into the X-Touch on the corner. He has to jump into the X-Touch on the corner. He's not going to do it.
Yeah. You need to pay the toll. You need to pay the toll.
He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's stunned. No. He's not quite dead yet. One more guess per game after this.
Oh, that's so impressive! And that was the same stuff that Rush was doing to him back a few games ago. And Zion giving it back, he was like, okay, payback can be a mother.
Well, it could be a McFlurry indeed. But you know what? He's been caught out by that reset situation a few times. I think, is that the first time we've seen Rush G flinch? Is that the first time we've seen him flinch with a throw tech? Not a button, a throw tech. Can't quite remember. Oh boy,
I can't say for certain, but it definitely looked like that. Let's see what happens. Was this the turning point, or will Rush be able to keep the package tight?
We'll see. He's had good moments. I think it's just when he tries to build on his momentum and how he's executed his punishes. He kind of trips over his shoelaces at times. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. Stumbles on the finish line.
Someone said he just pressed 2 buttons and he uppercuts. It's not fair. My friend, life's not fair, but here we are. Oh, nice cross cut.
That's probably the best way to sum it up, man.
Life's not fair, but here we are.
Oh, nice delay from the crouch medium kick. One of the best cancelable normals in the game. Like the cancellation window is so good on that crouch medium kick.
Guard break. Good V reversal. He hasn't been doing that enough. He's done it, but I think he's not confident when he can just let it out. And wow, okay.
Honestly, I'm like, that's impressive that he decided to go for that in that moment, because he had a huge life lead, no resources on Zion. He went for the DP anyway.
Ooh, cross counter again, and he's going to be straight to the corner. Remember, these guys, you're looking at the characters with some of the best corner carry. All right, sand medium punch. No buffer though. Fireball.
Nice.
Swing again. Can't do that.
Yeah.
It's 2 buttons, man.
The plus frames. Nice answer with the target combo.
Take throw as a counter hit, so he got it delayed there. And that could have been the game, but he's not going to mess it up. Oh, guard break might come.
What's going to happen?
Ultra Snatcher might come. Oh, he tried to do a light kick. Why?
Answer, no! Look at how much damage he's paying for that, but no combo from Zeon. Zeon doesn't
wake up super. Do not wake up super. Do not. What? Oh, you can do that.
Wait, what? Oh my god. Oh, he actually, no way. He used the EX. He didn't have the he didn't have the chip.
Okay. I legit did not know Ed could do EX Knuckle into the Ultra Snatcher on block. I didn't know he could do that. I've only seen that on here. I didn't know he could do that on block. So that was interesting. Because I remember I spoke to Ending Walker about this. I said, how do you Ed players mess up Flicker into EX Knuckle? That just can never mess up. He said, no, you can. It's just there's a slim chance. I didn't know you could then cancel it into the V-trip. That's something new. I like that.
Yeah.
But Rush G, my man, he's living up to his name indeed. Rush G with all the options. That was crazy. Punish. He could have punished that one. But again, it can be hard to see that in the game.
He's really using those fireballs, even with the fear of the V skill too.
Back throw. Alright, I like that. I like when he uses stand jab just to check the range there. Try and beat Zion Woods to the punch and flicker, because that's a 4-frame jab.
Using it kind of as a ruler. Yeah.
the corner here, forward throw.
It's the throw.
I think he can V-reversal a little bit more, but... There you go.
Oh, nice. That was a perfect time to reversal as well. Used up the V-trigger from Xeon.
Remember, every opponent's in a guess when you V-reverse because Ken's basically right up close. You gotta do a micro walk
It's
throw
such
anyway.
a, like, I think honestly, man,
Oh, he's
it's
dead.
Probably...
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think it's one of the best, if not the best people.
Oh, hang on.
That's
I might
my
be wrong.
humble opinion. No, I don't think he's in.
Hey, what?
He's not dead! No way. He got hit by the EX Fireball. That's such a good way to finish off the round. Like, we've been talking, like, in previous episodes, we already always talk about this. EX Fireball, one of the best round finishers in the game.
Well, he done it at unreactable range. You're not reacting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
and the cancellation as well.
it's not humanly possible there, so you anticipate it. But
It's a checkmate situation.
Harnish, yeah, he's doing similar to what Sucker and Poison players will do against that hard kick. They just press the light kick, but they don't commit, especially when it's like very far max distance. That's gonna be stunned.
Yeah.
The song will be dead though. Is he gonna reset him again?
He's gonna, yeah.
Back throw will do it. There you go.
Reset.
He's mixing it up.
Rework.
So sometimes he'll end the combo, get the damage, and go for the knockdown, the guess from there, and other times he'll reset him. So he's keeping Rush G on his toes. He died with full resource in that round. If he wants to spend super early, I think that'll be a good call. I think that would be a very good call if he spends super early.
Yeah.
He might not get the chance.
What happens by he's in the corner, he might be using an EX reversal very soon.
I think super's better because he'll put him in the other corner.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not going to do it. Yeah, he's not going to do it.
Tried to get out the corner with the EX. Oh.
Has Zion blocked any of those Shoryukens?
I'm pretty sure he has.
I don't think he has.
No, he actually probably hasn't. Wow. The DP to answer the Stand Fierce is back, baby.
Guess the game's coming. Make your choice. What are you going to do? You like guessing, and he gets wrong. And he gets wrong. That's going to be 7 apiece.
I wonder if he likes guessing right now. At this specific moment, in this time frame, at this current date and time. Does he like guessing?
Listen, that's what he told me. What I like to do with our guests, when you make a point, I will give you a chance to defend yourself. If you can't defend yourself, I can't help you. You told me you like guessing. There's been a lot of guesses in this set thus far, but it's been entertaining. I hope you guys are enjoying the action just as much as me and Olvaha are. Beggy, where are you? You're missing this.
He's on a vacation, bro. His nerves couldn't handle this.
Alright, there we go. Pressure being applied. Right back in the game.
Carrying some momentum from that.
Nice.
Oh, nice TP.
Big risk, but he just managed to get it because the hurt box on that during the recovery is a bit... It's a bit sus.
When he gets that, it's so good. But obviously a DP as an answer to those moments, even if it's buffed as the way it is right now, it does carry an inherent risk.
Throw in, he missed it, he was too far. And he's just keeping the stun high, that's all he's doing. He's keeping the stun high so that Rush G stays on his toes. Activates the Ultra Snatcher, that's dead.
That has been a really good way for
well,
to Becky, our bro.
He's on holiday, but he's with us in spirit. Thank you.
Love that.
And he'd probably do that.
He would have reacted with that face.
Yeah,
he would have reacted with that face.
Oh man. All right. Anyway, EX Psycho Knuckles straight to the corner. Crush counter with the Stand Fierce.
Lost frames again. Right now from Leon. Oh, nice. A little bit of that extra damage. Stun is building up as well. The target combo.
Do you know what? That was a very big risk there to avoid stun, but he takes it. He gets the benefits. He's got to watch out for a V-reversal from Ed in a minute.
I like how Rush was staggering the back medium punches there.
Uh-oh. Back throw.
Oh, the back throw.
He combos it instead.
Oh, but Stand Fierce. No cancel of the run, though.
Damn, these guys.
Or V-trigger for that matter. Oh, my God.
No!
Oh,
he thought it was crush counter. Excellent.
Yeah,
no, fantastic.
That's good. That's good.
Actually, tell a lie. Let's wait for this game to finish. Just do super. Do super. I would have done super. Probably work. Anyway, no. In that situation there, so well played to Zion for doing the upper snatcher cancel from the EX Psycho upper. It removes your counter hit.
Avoid the crush counter.
Yeah, avoids your counter hit properties. But Rush done the right combo though, because from the Stand Fierce run, all that happens is your follow-up changes. I think when he runs, he can do the target combo, but on a regular hit, he can do 3-frame Tatsu.
Yeah,
and he convert from there. I guess he just wasn't ready for that in general.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, fresh game.
Well, I mean, he's still getting punched in the mouth, unfortunately.
Yeah, might be. I wonder if he has a plan anymore.
You can always remember it after a couple of rounds.
A lot of scrambling.
Again, he's not going to look to jump out of the corner. He's looking to get a clean hit on the ground out the corner. There's a jump.
Double flicker. Oh, but Rush has the corner right now. Ooh, nice. Standing medium
He
punch.
wasn't close enough to get a 5-1 extension. I think he get an extension from that. Straight to the corner here, and again, reset, stayed in front. He just mistimed that stand medium punch meaty, because you can do that.
That's tricky. That's like Dan has something similar as well.
Good lord, mate. What was that?
That is such a good. That is such a good.
What are these activation conversions I ain't seen before? What is this?
Yeah.
You been hiding this from me?
I mean, it's all on YouTube, I assume.
Do you know what?
For
That's
Rush.
true. Make sure you sub to Rush's channel.
Yeah.
If I don't
Oh,
see it,
nice,
if I don't
the
see it on his
DP.
Twitch channel, I ain't seen it.
My man is too clean right now with the DPs.
Backs away. No V shift yet. Yeah, these guys haven't really V shifted. They've just kept it for V reversals and their trigger mainly.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess this goes with the 3-bar V trigger.
Nice. This time the EX dot kick works. EX dots.
Just waiting there. That could have been a whip punish on the stand median kick, but didn't get it. Good backdash there. Nice and delayed. Backs away. Now, if he gets hit once. Oh,
Ooh, there it is.
I didn't say
nice
he, but-
optimal conversion as well. A lot of people just go for a dash up into a DP, for example, but he was ready for that. Nice work from Rush.
I think what can he do now? He can do, because obviously they changed the properties on the crush counter hard kick, well, a little while back, so he gets better extensions of the crush counter roundhouse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is all about, you know, situational awareness, understanding your resources, that meter management, because that will be important in Street Fighter 6. Do not forget that meter management. I'm going to see who's good with their money in real life and who isn't in Street Fighter 6. Don't worry, the game's going to tell me a lot about you lot. But it's definitely important that he was able to identify that he could have killed with that 1-bar combo. Like you said, super
Nice
awesome.
from that range. Yeah, from that range, Rush was answering with the target combo there. Nice work.
Here it comes.
No.
Back throw will do it. There it is. It's going to be the round. It should be the round. And there's a bit of scaling, but actually, he's still alive. Ed's got 1,000 vitality.
But he's in the corner, so the situation is really good for Rush G. Hold that thought.
Oh, that fun.
And you know, you can't say anything for certain with these characters. They're too explosive.
That's why I'm a commentator.
Yeah, me too.
We don't like me and Olvaha don't like fighting these characters.
We
in
don't like
tournaments.
guessing.
No. We don't like fighting in tournaments now. We just commentate. So
I'm the guy with the popcorn in my hand.
You know it. So again, no jump from Zion yet. He's been playing it. I like that these guys have been playing it pretty grounded for the most part.
And not a lot of jumps outside of the EX Tatsu from Rush.
Yeah, Rush has been jumping way more than Zion has. The conversion into the Psycho Splash, and then the jab. Messed up his timing, unfortunately, there.
Yeah, the backdash reset it in the air, so
Crush counter.
out on that opportunity.
Here it comes. All right, he took a risk to Tatsu. He made a decision. He thought that he was going to respect the extra Yuki, but he didn't. He doesn't have to. It's 8 apiece. And one throw will do the trick. And he tried to shimmy him. He's waiting. Huh? What? He could do that as well?
That was nice.
That looked awkward.
Yeah, it looked because I think... Okay, I'm going to talk about it for a moment.
Look forward.
Let's see this. Let's see how this pans out first.
It.
Let's see how this pans out first.
He couldn't do run 5, but he ran out of trigger. Guess for the game. I said guess for the game.
He did it. He did it. He actually did it.
Whoa. My man did that slight walk like, hey. I mean, look.
You know where there's, you know what they say? Where there's smoke, there's fire, and my nose picked up the smoke. I was like, yeah, that's an EXDP.
Know it.
But honestly, like talking about the awkward combo, I feel like Rush G as a player has like some fail-safe combos in that situation where like against some characters that could have been a side switch potentially. So I feel like he has kind of a fail-safe option in that sense. So if the range is not optimal for the side switch, that's how I thought about it.
Well, all eyes are on Zion Woods right now. Can he take this to a final game here? Will Rush be able to close it out? He's been able to bamboozle him and show us some new conversions, ones that I don't really see, just in general, anymore with Ken. But he's just harassing him with flickers. There we go, pressure being applied. Sun's racked up high. He needs that trigger. He's waiting for the opportune moment to activate it. Didn't quite get it. He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get it. Chip him down, yeah, he's just waiting, yeah.
Oh my god,
He
look
caved
at
in.
the flickers!
Hello? He capitulated, he caved in. Next round, let's go. Oh, where's the whip punish? Where's the whip punish?
Oh my god. A lot of scrambles right now, oh my goodness.
I think these guys are really scared of their crush counters more than anything else. Crush counters do mental damage as well.
Yeah, they do. You kind of have that fear
Don't worry.
in your heart at all times, especially
worry.
against these characters who get a lot out of their crush counters.
Punish counters are going to be even worse than 6, don't worry.
Oh my goodness, can't wait for that.
Get comfortable, they're going to be even more rewarding. There's a
Oh
forward
man,
throw.
only 2 months, bro.
Uh-oh. Meaty Psycho Swing.
Plus frames, that's hella plus frames.
Hold on a minute.
The standing medium kicking up. Not too much from Xeon. Could have gone for a crouching medium, possibly, but doesn't matter at this point. He's about to finish the round here. Let's see what Rush is.
Watch out for the fireball, activate, and he gets hit with the roundhouse. I think he got caught just slightly walking forward after trying to take his turn back there. Get a bit impatient.
Can we just talk about the set 9-9? Since when was the last time? I'm just glad
not that
it's
long
been-
ago, actually. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Hold
okay,
on. I could be wrong.
My memory is kind of faulty at times.
We had Marvin Giyu about before the CPT final.
That's true. That was in
okay.
February. Okay, but it's
Month
a
and a
few
half.
months, you know.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. All right. Anyway, first blood goes to Rusty in this last game here.
I mean, with these explosive characters, first blood has to mean something.
I mean, it does until you get hit by someone's EX reversal.
It does until it doesn't.
Staggered pressure being applied here. Spends the Barnet's fireball to push to the corner. No confirm on that low forward again. Swing.
Ooh, nice whiff punish.
No confirm again.
Ever whiff that Wii skill off me, bro.
Activation's
I
coming.
got the DPs.
Here he comes.
That activation never looks plus to me, but it is plus.
Oh,
and
it's
that
like
really
plus
annoys
20.
me. Yeah, but it really annoys me because the V-Trigger 2 animation, like, it definitely doesn't look like it's plus, but yeah.
He saw the
Clean
Psycho Spark and he done Shoryuken again and he puts himself at match point through the fire and flames indeed.
That's the set. Through fire mode flames. I like that.
Oh, he jumped in. That was a clean jump in.
Big jumping.
Please don't Psycho up, or just wait, please.
Gonna keep the momentum here. Nice tech from Xeon.
He might have to Psycho Swing again in a minute.
Ooh, the roundhouse. Once again, another one. Make that 3.
That man's giving you his bare foot. That's not good. Hold on a minute.
Ken is all about kicking this.
He's got the super. He might try and look for a confirmative super. I don't care how he does it, but the hook by crook, that super might come out.
Oh, the fireball at this time.
Crouch medium punch super, low forward. No, he's gonna have to take a couple of hits here first. Throw tech. Here comes the
Another catch.
Throw. Is it coming? He's trying to bait.
Still has one more left in the tank.
He's gonna wait out of the range, and it's a stun. We're going to a final round. We're going to a final round.
No way. No freaking way. Xeon manages to squeeze that one in, even with Rush with full resource bits there.
Now I wonder
The final game, final round. Let's go, baby. I love this.
Fireball. I think whoever gets sent to the corner first might have lost the game. Let's find out. Jumped
It's
here.
definitely, for someone, it's time to fly soon.
All right, here we go. Right, you got his exit decisions to make, and he does a raw jump out. That's fine. That's the way.
Backdash from the stand first.
I think this is the most tense and tentative they've played this entire
Oh my
set
goodness.
until that
Gets
point.
the EX follow-up. That's always something you can bank on.
Watch out for the grab. No, that's
gonna
big.
be a
That's
punish.
huge. Oh, this combo
no.
is huge. He might have to take a grab hit and guess
Doesn't
from
have
that.
the EX
Yeah, this is
meter,
it.
though.
This is it. He can't be reversal. He needs that trigger. He needs that
He needs
trigger.
that DP.
He's
The
not gonna
DP he has counted on all this moment, all this time.
He's not going to do it. Now he's
Oh,
gonna-
this is so oppressive at this point. The life lead is.
Nah, it's too much.
Hold
The
on,
disparity
hold
is too
on,
much. It's
hold
too
on.
much. Nah, it's too
But
much.
there it is. There it is. Damn, that was definitely too much, like you said, Jammerz.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the notorious move, one of the most annoying moves in the game, it prevails and it done it in a clean fashion. 1, 2, 3. Let me see those 1, 2, 3 GGs in the chat. Because Zion Woods, he was 2 down at the start. He made 3 on the bounce, and then it was just a back and forth from there, and he was able to take it to the final game, final round in this 10-9 set. Nail-biting, riveting. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as we did. And I mean, do you know what? That was good old slugging it out in a fighting game. We like that every now and then. But you know what?
Yeah.
We need to cool down. I can't
Can I
find
do
no
the
water.
countdown?
You want to do the countdown?
Yeah.
You can do it
Okay.
if you want. I need to find my water, so do you want to do it?
Yeah. We're gonna do the countdown, and we will be right back shortly in 1, 2, 3.
Brace yourself! Useless! Force! Dynamite! Get ready! Jackhammer! Time to get serious! This is your last ride! Let's go! My beautiful body is built better!
I call upon you, great wind. Toi no ikonoi, spirit of the wind. Let yourself become one with it. Good stuff. Wings together. Go forward. Here we go. A jump. Just for you. Go. Wings. Easy. Here I go. The voice of the spirit, only I can hear it.
But not the one we're looking for. Another mission awaits.
Space-time distortions. They're still puking out dinosaurs all over the planet.
So, Bikitoa Island's been sealed up for 3 years, and Ibius won't own up to Leviathan's malfunction?
Can you address the reports of Exo Fighter patrols on the island?
Reports of Exo Fighter patrols are simply untrue. IBS is committing all possible resources to the investigation.
Exercise results logged. Sunsetting temporal instance.
Come on back. Drinks on me.
There are hundreds of Exo Fighters running around out there. Everyone's armed, and nobody knows what'll happen next. 1 minute, they could be helping you. The next minute, they're shooting you in the back.
You need to keep fighting until we can figure out how to destroy the Leviathan. It's trying to build stronger exosuits, so it's pulling any Exo Fighter in their hold back in time to these bloody war games.
Like it or not, the
exosuits keeping us alive out there. But the more we use it, the more it helps Leviathan.
Well, that's not an option.
One way or another.
Valued team members, prepare for dimensional integration in 10 minutes.
You stay alive, man. Only you.
If you give an AI like Leviathan the directive, improve our exosuits, it has to complete. It doesn't matter whether that takes 100 tries, million, all for the perfect suit. More than that.
But at least do me the courtesy of looking me in the face whilst you do it.
Okay, pinky, forefinger, back to middle, full wrist articulation. Then we do it in reverse. Begin.
What the hell are you guys doing?
It's a secret robot handshake.
Good morning, Victoria.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to tonight's episode of Sets featuring Zion Woods and Rush G. If you are just joining us, then unfortunately, you've actually missed some amazing action. You could see the scoreline next to me there. It was an electrifying set from start to finish. These guys were slugging it out. I'm glad myself and Olvaha were there to call the action. But now, I've got to make sure these guys are back because we've got to talk about this matchup and other things in this post-match interview. So let me find out. Zion, Rush G, can you guys hear me loud and clear once again?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear.
Perfect. All right, so Zion, first of all, congratulations on winning that set there. Pretty close.
Thank
Made
you.
it as entertaining as can be. I'd like to... Well, we got to first ask you your perspective on fighting Ken. What do you think the numbers are? And do you think Ed overthrows Ken completely? Do you think it's even? What's your philosophy when fighting Ken?
So, quite a bit. I have quite a bit to say about Ken actually. So I think the matchup's 6-4.
To who?
In Ed's favor.
Okay.
But I actually maybe just slightly. Maybe it's 5.5 Ed favor. But I also have like a bit of a Ken nightmare. Like if you remember in CPT, I lost 2 Muscle Noob. The World Warriors that I entered, I lost to Muscle Noob. Ken just scares me.
Okay.
But I think it's really good because Ken nullifies Ed's V triggers quite well, and he also his offense is very. It's very hard for Ed to like DP because like he has a 1-button DP, but if you have a free frame, you can just use the free frame and then you will block the DP as well. But Ken can get a lot of light confirms. He's one of the few characters that get more than Ed, so that's how you know he's very good.
You talk about in terms of Ken as a character, in terms of light confirms?
Yeah, because he can get a lot of light confirms. So it's hard to run. It's hard to have good defense against Ken. Because if you want to just DP to get them off you, it's hard to do that.
Okay, interesting. Now I've got to ask as well. Like, what were you thinking when Rush G had that exceptional start? Because he looked like he was going to run away with that at least 4 games in a row or something with the way he was playing at the start. What were you feeling at the time before you like turned things around?
Yeah, so I lost 2 games straight away in like the space of like 2 minutes, and I was like, nah, my jacket's coming off. I was like, what? I was like, yo, what's happening? Because I was getting destroyed, and then I was like, nah, this has to change. And then yeah.
What do you think you changed? Oh wait, you put a jacket on.
I put a jacket on.
No, I took my jacket off.
No, you put a jacket. You took your jacket off, Zion. Rusty saying you put his jacket on. Okay. Oh my God. No, that's interesting. It's the jacket swap. I like that. These guys are definitely they got that camaraderie going there. So, what do you think? What did you want to change specifically? Because I saw you utilizing, Ed's Psycho Knock a fair bit. It was getting punished. You baited at times, but not as much as probably we thought you were gonna do. And then I saw you try to use it to escape the corner. I think you got a bit more audacious with your resets at times. But is there anything specifically you can pinpoint that you felt right? It was these key moments that changed this entire set for me, Zion.
Yeah, 2 things actually. One, the Psycho Knuckle. Yeah, because every time my Psycho Knuckle was getting punished, I knew as soon as like I pressed R1 I was getting punished because as soon as he backdashed, I know he's buffering the DP. So even if I whiff it, because Psycho Knuckle has a very big hurt box, I will get clipped slightly. So no matter what, I was taking damage. So I had to try to bait that out some more and just try to get the spacing right. And the other one was Flicker, because Ken has a decent time dealing with max range Flicker. So like the spacing trap doesn't necessarily work as well. So what I've done, instead of just doing Flicker and then doing Flicker again, I would just do uncharged heavy punch, because that will push my hurt box a bit back and it will stop me from getting hit by whatever Rush G does. And if he dashes or if he does something else, it should counter that as well, unless he just does Fireball.
Okay, interesting. Now I like that. I definitely like that philosophy there. Now we've got to kind of look at Rush G's direction, because I think you're playing some of the best Street Fighter I've ever seen you play in a little while there. It was just unfortunate you couldn't take the victory there. So
yeah,
it looked like you were definitely doing some practice, because you looked a bit too sharp against Psycho Knuckle with those Shoryukens, and you had some very interesting answers. So what's your perspective on the Ed matchup, Rush?
I just want to stop you there, Jammerz. I'm very offended by what you just said, and I always play like that.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
he does, I can't lie.
Is that against?
You do not watch the streams enough, Jammerz.
Maybe I don't.
Every time I play him, he does it.
Right, is that against Ed or in general?
But in general, there are some matchups that I am not great at. Ryu, for example, I hate playing against Ryu. Everyone knows, but yeah, generally that's how I play. But what I will say is, I was making smaller adaptations during the set. They weren't enough. I spotted a few things.
I mean,
yeah, it was all
okay, do you know what he says? He says, no, you say it's not enough, but 10-9, listen, 10-9, final game, final round, that could have been anyone's round. I don't think you could have done any more, if that makes sense. Like, I think you guys were pushing each other to the absolute limit.
Yeah.
It just came, I'm not going to say it came down to a coin flip, but it was like, essentially, that last round could have been anyone's game. You guys had basically equals amount of momentum. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah. I want to actually ask Rush G as a follow-up question. What was the hardest thing for you to pinpoint about Zion's gameplay?
In this set
set, because, and I was gonna ask afterwards about, is this like a normal thing or is it just today?
To be fair, generally we do go neck and neck. I can't say that I beat Zion more than he beats me. It's generally 50-50. But I think obviously Flicker. I wasn't checking dashes. I think I was so focused on other things. I was letting the dashes in, and when I was in the corner, I was hesitating quite a lot. I had opportunities when I was cornered, but I didn't take them. And I don't usually just wake up DP as much as you saw in that set, but I was thinking, should I do it now? He's probably going to pressure and he's not going to try and bait. But I held back, or if I had a hit, there's one situation where I think I saw a stand heavy punch whiff right in my face, and I did do CA, but I got just a stand low kick and I got clipped for my trouble. So I've got options, I've got decisions, but I was in my own head a little bit when I was in the corner. I was really struggling to deal with the Flicker, because basically Flicker on block is a mix-up. It's like, yeah, Ed's minus, but it's the range, isn't it? You've got to decide on what you do based on range. That's why I even dashed in at one point, but it's...
Yeah, that was random.
Hang on, right. You say that, but how I saw it, I mean, you could label it as arbitrary in the long run, but I saw it as this, because if you look at all the times you flickered, he either tried to check you with a button, he walks out of the way, I think, or he backdashed, and the one time he did dash, you hit him. Now, that might have been you trying to anticipate the dash, but he mixed things up before he tried to take that attempt.
Oh, no, I checked the dash.
Well,
yeah, he did.
No, I know you did, but I'm saying, what you need to do in fighting games, this happens with every interaction, is pay attention to what your opponent does after you press the button, whether it's plus or whether it's minus. What I'm saying is, Rush was doing other options before he did the dash. He didn't resort to it every single time. It's just the one time he did dash, you checked it. But you just said, well, that was random, wasn't it? Like,
because I was surprised.
It wasn't necessarily random. It was just surprising, to be fair.
I had the live feed when I did that dash, and I was so surprised. He got checked by a medium as well. I was like, wow, that's something that I would do, because I preemptively check. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No. That's very interesting how you guys look at that situation, look at those situations in general. Now, again, your reactions were super sharp, and correct me if I'm wrong, Zion, I don't think you blocked one EX Shoryuken. I don't think you did.
No, I did not. Every time I tried to bait one, I got hit by crouch medium punch activate. And then every time I tried to go in, I got hit with EXDP. I was like, what do I do?
Do you find yourself having a better time against the wake-up DPs normally outside of this set?
No, actually. I feel like I struggle. Like every time I want to bait a DP, someone does a different option, and then I find it rare to bait DPs sometimes.
Okay, do you know what you can do? Maybe that's something you can work on from now and obviously leading into SF6 and then from that point onwards. Because again, baiting just in general it's not easy. There's sometimes you can identify a situation and you're like, yeah, you 100%, because again, like you said, the times you tried to bait it, in your gut feeling said he will do it here, and he didn't. But that's the same thing. That's where the mind games come in, because Rush G felt he thinks I'm going to do it here, so that's when I'm going to do something else, and that's where it gets a bit confusing. So then you kind of give up that aspect of the game, if that makes sense. You're like, all right, I'm not going to bait here, or try something. Sometimes I did feel at times you overextended a little bit, which is why the Shoryuken came out, but
yeah, I got a bit too greedy.
At the end of the day, though, like, both of you have invincible reversals that give you Oki, but I feel that you have to understand the context in which Rush G did his reversals. Where was he doing them, and when did he do them? He was in the corner most of the time.
Funny thing is,
go for it, please.
Funny thing is, I even though I'm bad at baiting like reversals, I'm good at knowing when he wants to mash jab. Like you saw him get like crush card a lot, because I knew he was gonna press jab, but I don't know what it is between jab and EXDP. I just can't do both. I don't know why it is.
I mean, fighting games are hard.
They are.
Well, and that aspect, understanding your opponent, that can be pretty hard. So,
I actually have a question for both of you. We didn't see a lot of V shifts from either.
I don't think we saw any.
Yeah, I don't think we saw actually any. Maybe once or twice. I think once against Zion's V Trigger 2. But is that just not really a part of your game plan, or is it something that you don't use against each other? Do you have like a specific reason why you don't use them?
I don't necessarily use it against Ken players, because the OS for V-Shift against Ken is very easy. Like, you can get heavy DP if you just whiff grab and they V-Shift. So it's like, what's the point? And then you're back in the same place, you've lost a bar and you've lost health, and you're probably further to the corner than you are before. But I actually utilize V-Shift for like a lot more against other characters, and V-Reversal, like against characters like Luke, because there's certain situations where they benefit you.
Yeah.
But with Ken, I don't really do it as much, because the risk is very high against Ken, because there's different options he can do,
which ultimately lead to Oki, and then it snowballs out of control, and then
yeah.
Okay, fair.
How about you, Rush?
Yeah, what about you, Rush?
Yeah, I mean, I messed it up quite a few times later in the set, but where the charged heavy punch, where it was closer range, there's basically two options. You can react to the fully charged heavy punch DP, CA, or you V-shift, but I think what I did was I was holding crouch when I did V-shift, so I got hit by the stand.
Oh yeah, true. You
charge
did
heavy
get
punch.
hit a few times with the crumple.
Yeah, so I was going for V-shift and those options sometimes from Imri, but I also, against Ed specifically, you know where he does, it was in Trigger 2, and he does like crouch and medium kick into the spark into the fireball. You guys probably know this, but you can V-shift the cancel into fireball and you get like a dash up punish, but Zion doesn't do that.
You can backdash as well.
Yeah, I think that's where the snatcher comes out, right? I think you can backdash. Yeah. There's one specific scenario where the fireball cancel comes out of the spark.
Yes.
And you V-shift it and you get a forward dash into a massive punish. But I already know that Zion doesn't really do that. I look for it when I'm in that V-Trigger 2 pressure string.
Right.
Funny enough, I used to spam it a lot, and then like I used to just do it because I'm like, no one knows how to punish this. And then lo and behold, Rush G just came in and smoked me, so I'm like, this has to stop.
Well, no, do you know what? That is definitely a thing where I like that you're learning that through this game, because again, Street Fighter 5 is very unforgiving when it comes to making even the slightest mistake, or getting a bit too comfortable at times, because if you do a technique or something that works against 90% of the player base, what happens to the other 10% when they do punish it? Was it real in the first place? You kind of ask yourself that question and then work from there. So I like that you two are just bouncing off each other and constantly going back and forth. We've seen that time and time again in that set. Rusty, there was a couple of situations where you noticed the gap in Zion Wood's activation from low forward and cycle up into V-Trigger 2, but you're getting hit. What were you doing there? Was that V-shifts or Shoryuken? Were you trying to do something else?
Yeah, it's EP. This is something that I've like added more recently, but yeah, where see the cancel. I've already buffered the Shoryuken input, and where you see the cancel, you do the XTP. And I think crouch and medium kick into the regular upper, isn't it? The activation route.
Yeah.
So there's a gap there, but yeah, I got hit from memory, I think twice, because it wasn't. I don't know if I butchered the input or not sure what happened, but yeah, I did the XTP.
He's right. That's actually not real.
No, we know it's not real. I'm just asking, what did he do? Because we saw counter hit every time. But it's like, okay, so he knows the gap's there, but he's trying to do something that's not coming out. So I just wanted to know if it was V-shift, Shoryuken, or I think he had super at one point, but I don't think it came out.
Yeah, I think it's deep. I think from memory, if you V-shift it, you don't get a punish.
Nah, you just V-shift to get out of the situation.
Yeah. But I think he still activates as well. So even though you V-shift it, Ed will still activate.
Well, the thing is as well, with this, and this is something that's important about this game. Yes, they still activate because obviously when you V-shift, it basically counts as a hit, but you avoid the guess, essentially.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you could lose from that guess. So even if they still activate, guess what? You eliminate that one guess scenario, and the next time you get in, they can't be reversal or do whatever. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily apply to just him, but other characters as well. So there's benefits, there's pros and cons to it, but I was just curious about what you were doing in that situation. Another thing as well, I've got to give you praise, because you showed me, I think there's about 4 or 5 activation routes off Ken I haven't seen before. I think
that activation was giving me nightmares.
He showed me a couple of activations I haven't seen before. EX Shoryuken, cross under Fireball, then the EX Tatsu. There was a heavy Shoryuken conversion you did. I think you did a dash whiff jab into EX Tatsu, something like that. So you must be really creative and you must really enjoy this stuff. How did this come about? You just trying to figure out these activation conversions? Was it really just trying to find out Ken's combo potential, or was it something else? Was it trying to look good for YouTube? What was it?
This is another meme. So the meme is optimization_G, which everyone
kind of figured that.
So when I first started the game, when there was only one trigger per character, like I was just baffled. I was like, how many combo routes are there for this V trigger? And there's a lot of stuff. There's stuff you haven't even seen that he does. And this is just my mindset. I was just like, okay, I need to figure out all the combo routes. That's what you do in fighting games, right? Figure out all the combo routes. So I spent last 7 years trying to learn V trigger, learn V trigger 1, and yeah, I mean, from
really strong V trigger.
If you know how to use it, especially this is the thing, yeah, with the run cancel that he gets in trigger 1, I thought it was kind of useless at first. I thought, okay, you can get free pressure, but he gets mad damage off it if you know how to use it off it. Yeah, rather than just throwing it out, you look to convert off it, but not many people have really labbed up the scenarios, I feel. But yeah, it's trigger 1 if you know how to use it. If you score a hit, you can do mad damage.
Well, do you think like Ken players in general are using it in an optimal way? They're trying to get basically free pressure instead of trying to hit confirm it, like you just said.
I think they are using it optimally, but the reason for that is because I personally think, I think they would agree, trigger 2 probably is the better or more versatile trigger. In my opinion, it's much easier to use. The combo routes aren't as complicated, and you can get conversions in this situations off it that you don't get with trigger 1, like punishing fireballs, for example. I'd actually say against Ed, you probably want to pick trigger 2. I'd say. So that's my OS for losing.
No, okay.
Yeah,
no, that's interesting. Do you find it the better V trigger to use overall? V trigger 2? I don't know. I think V trigger 1 still has its place. I don't know, maybe to me, because I'm on the receiving end of it most of the time, it seems more threatening than V-Trigger 2. Like you said, it's got its uses, it's more flexible, and the vacuum effect is extremely good, but I don't know if you can use it across the board like V-Trigger 1.
Yeah, and it doesn't last as long as well. So
it doesn't need to, because it's a different purpose.
Yeah, of course, but like you don't feel as afraid for as long of a time compared to V-Trigger 1.
I don't know, Rush, would you object to what we just said, or...?
I still think you're right. You can't use it in every matchup, but you've got. I mean, combined with CA, you get like 50% damage or more. That's on like a fireball punish. That's off a whiff punish. It's just 3 damage. Yeah, projectile matchups. Yeah, you can punish fireballs. Like I said, you get conversions off a lot of situations you don't with trigger 1. well. I just think it's so simple to use. You're probably going to get it twice per round as well. Yeah, I personally think it's better, but maybe that's because people don't use trigger 1 properly. Like the only other Ken I see use trigger 1 the way I kind of do is Angry Bird, Big Bird. They use trigger 1. I'm like, okay, yeah, you know stuff. Don't really see it. Wise.
Is that in terms of? Okay, let me not use the word optimization. Is that in terms of like creativity and unlocking its full potential? Damn, that sounded cheesy. And getting its full potential, because sometimes I do. It's not a mistake. I see, because again, perspective is everything, right? There's some people where you look at them using your character and they use trigger and it's like, you can be more optimal here, you can be more flexible there, there's this mix-up you can do, and then there's, you know, let's say that the best players in the world, the tournament players, and they're like, look, this just gets the job done in the safest, most efficient way. Would you say it's mainly because you've had more time to be creative and like really explore this, that the guys that you do see that you feel they're using it unoptimally, that they're competing all the time, so they're trying to find the safest way to win, or am I misunderstanding your point?
Sorry, I think so when I was saying Angry Bird and Big Bird use it very similarly to how I use it. Sorry, that's what I was saying. I think I was more talking about like just online. When I see people use trigger 1 online, it's not kind of wasted, or like, yeah, it's just not. Yeah, I guess it's difficult to articulate. So yeah, I suppose I'm comparing the player base, but yeah, going back to the original point, 2 versus 1, I just think it's more simplistic, more reward for it in more situations. I'd say that in a nutshell. Okay. I think 2 is better than 1.
No, that is completely fine there. Now I've got to go back to Zion. You said you like guessing, but you were on the receiving end of all this guessing for quite a while before you turned things around. Now, I've always wanted to ask you this, because I think at one point you did say you played, was it Karen before you played Ed? Was that right?
I played Karen, Ibuki, and Colleen.
Colleen as well. Why? What made you stick with Ed? Was it inspiration, or did you say he just looks cool?
2 things actually. One, I think Ed's a very cool character. I think psycho powers in general, they're quite unique, and everyone with psycho powers can do different things. So I think they're all cool in that aspect. And the second one, remember how I said I was losing to my dad?
Yeah.
I was like, at one point, once I got the game, I still played him like over time, and I still lost. It wasn't as bad, but I was still losing. And then I was like, can't lie, the character's cheap.
I mean, he's extremely good, yes.
Oh no, this was before he got all these buffs.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, your character's cheap. I guarantee you, I can play this character and win.
Oh my god.
So I played the character to tell my dad, because I was like, this character's got no inputs. I was basically saying what everyone in Twitch chat says, but then I realized he's actually... I didn't realize that he's easy to play but hard to master.
Okay, now's the chance to defend yourself. Why is he hard to master?
Because, well, actually, he was hard to master. Let me say that. Now I feel like he gets too much reward. But before this season, I feel like he was hard to master because you had to think about a lot of things. And he still has these weaknesses, but they're covered up by how much buffs he has. Because you can't whiff punish stuff into special moves unless it's flicker, which is the lowest damaging special move, because a lot of special moves whiff. And then also he has bad matchups, but now they're fightable because he does stupid amounts of damage, so it helps him there.
Okay. What are Ed's worst 3 matchups?
Me personally, I think Dowsim, that's a terrible matchup. Falk is a bad matchup, but I actually don't mind fighting it, so funny enough.
Okay.
And then I also think Chun-Li is a matchup that's not in Ed's favor.
Wow. Okay.
But now they're all winnable, except for Dowsim, unless you're Ending Walker, because that character's cheap.
Well, I mean, when we spoke to Ending Walker, he said Falk is the worst matchup, and he put Sagat high up there.
Sagat is actually a hard matchup, but the Sagats I play, they're all like, I've now learned it a bit and what not to do. Okay. But I don't think it's one of his worst. Falk is definitely his worst matchup.
I like it. Two sides of the same coin, and your worst matchup is the other side of was basically your reflection in the mirror. So then it's interesting. Why didn't you pick up Falk then at any point? Because if you've played Ed, surely you could dabble with Falk a little bit.
I've not really looked at Falk because I wanted a secondary character to deal with my bad matchups. So then when I was talking to Phils at one point, he said, if you want a secondary, don't pick Falk because she has the same hard matchups as Ed, so it was pointless.
Okay.
Right.
So the only reason I ever would have picked Falk would be, let's just say, to just counter pick another Ed player, but I don't mind the Ed mirror. It's just who's more coconut brains will lose.
That's a very interesting way of describing it.
I've never heard that as a description.
Meaning, hey, listen, if that's what you guys say when it comes to mirror matches, then boy, I can't wait for a Geef mirror in Street Fighter 6.
Oh wow! Oh no, that character looks so cheap.
That character
looks so good.
That character looks interesting, yes. But no, I've got to ask you as well because, again, I like the way that you both have improved over the years of playing this game. Rusty, let me ask you this first. What has been kind of your main way of improving? Has it just been remembering things, making mental note and going back in the lab? Has it been watching replays? Has it been the YouTube documentation? What has it been for you that's been your main way of improving?
You're gonna laugh. Optimization underscore G. I just sit. I mean, I lab situations. I do lab matchups, but I just sit in the lab and I just have fun with the character. I like, what is no one doing? All right, let's go and do that today. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
And I stumble upon things that I randomly found something the other day that I've not seen before, and I was like, okay, so I see a situation in a match. I'm like, okay, that just happened. Go in the lab, and I'll try and recreate it. Then I'll be like, okay, what can I do in this situation? And
okay, a follow-up question for that. Is it something that you only do with your character, or is it something that you also do with other characters?
So when you say that, do you mean
do you only do it with Ken, or do you watch like a random replay and see a weird situation and try to replicate that in training mode?
Yeah.
No, so I only look at my matches. So I look at my matches with other characters, obviously. But
okay.
Yeah, everything's solely Ken. But what I will say is as well is there's a lot of people that I've spoken to over the years that have given me like crazy like tech and advice as well. So like my Discord is filled with like people helping each other out all the time. So I've got to say the people that I talk to over the not just now, even over the years, the people that have come and gone have found like amazing bits of tech. Oh, I know, yeah, we've all just got together and figured stuff out. But yeah, I just sit in the lab and do Ken things.
No, that's great because that was one of my primary motivations for getting better with Poison. I'm just like, all right, just go in training mode, practice combos, come up with some weird scenarios, watch replays of and find the most awkward interaction, recreate it, and then work from there. And then you just show people this stuff. They're like, I've never seen that. It's like, because you lot can't even do an anti-air, so like, you're not even at that point where you think like this. Damn. But sometimes I do feel it might be. Would you say you're an innovator, Rush? Is it safe to assume that if you touch a character, you think you can really innovate with them and then create some stuff or develop some things that you think other people won't be able to come up with?
That's sounding big-headed. Yeah, I think I just like. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. So I just I like the character and I like seeing potential of the character. If that makes sense. So
okay.
Yeah. This goes back to what I said before. Maybe if I wasn't content creating, I wasn't doing all this stuff, and I was focused on competing, it may have been different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that was my. No, that's what's kept me playing the game for 7 years. The character and just discovery.
Nah, I like that aspect. Zion, what about you? What's been your main motivation to improve? Is it to be in the big headlights of CPT? Is it to get back at your dad? What has it been?
Well, it started off with getting back at my dad, and then eventually I got better. Now the thing is, I just like winning, but I feel like I could do a lot better because you're gonna like think I'm like weird for this, but I've only ever been in the lab once. Like it was after versus fighting.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna just go in the lab because I wanted to play in World Warrior, and then funny enough, I only played in like 2 World Warriors because I got a girlfriend and I just didn't really play the game.
Okay.
But I don't. The way I've learned, I've watched. I just like what I love watching Street Fighter. Like I really enjoy watching it. So I wouldn't say I'm an innovator. I like seeing stuff and then I understand it. So I'll see this once and I was like, oh, that's how this works. I'll like go back like a few seconds. I'll see it again, and I'll be like, okay, that makes more sense. But like creating tech isn't really my thing. I just like playing the game.
So
I do like watching it.
You kind of learn things on the fly based off pure instinct. So it's like once you see it, it's like, okay, I can replicate that. But then when you're in the moment, you'll kind of understand how it works. Or you'll understand how it works over time. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'll see someone do something. Like I remember when I saw Enden Walker do a combo, and I was like, "The hell? I've never seen this before in my life." So then I was playing the game. So I had the YouTube video on my phone. And I was watching it, went into a ranked game, tried it, because I like to practice in ranked, because doing combos on bots is easy, but replicating it in a game is a lot harder, because the bot just stands there.
Okay, alright, I like that.
And then like I tried in the ranked game, I actually lost. No, I didn't lose, I failed to do the combo until I got it right. Like it took me a while to get it right.
I think it's really interesting that you two have a very different way at approaching a game and trying to learn specific things. It's a very polarizing.
Well, it's like, I wouldn't say it's night and day, but I like that again because Rusty's been around for a while. Zion's been on the tail end of this game and he's learned pretty quickly, so I like the different philosophies and aspects there. But yes, no, that was very interesting to hear from the both of you. We are short on time, I believe, so I'm gonna let me ask you guys this. So is it safe to assume you both played one of the two betas that came out for Street Fighter 6? Is that right?
Yeah, I played the second one.
Sweet. Right, so we'll start with Zion first. Which character did you use in the beta, and have you got any hopes or concerns for the game? You liking how it looks? Are you worried about anything? Talk to me.
I played Jury. I think Jury's a very good character, and I feel like there's some things that need to change in the game.
Okay.
Like, for example, I think Gao was a bit strong and way too strong. But there's a lot of things there. But in terms of like the aspects and mechanics of the game, I think if you do a button into Drive Rush, it shouldn't cost that much, because the way I played it, I only used Drive Rush for Oki and whiff punishing. But I don't really want to lose 3 bars because I had better neutral than you. I'd rather like it doesn't make as much sense than doing raw Drive Rush and being random, and it only costs you 1 bar.
I kind of understand what you're getting at.
So I think it should both be around 2, more or less.
So you think there should be reworks of the costings of the drive system? Okay. Okay, no, that's interesting.
So you'd rather use it as a hit confirm tool instead of like a neutral tool to get in. So would you say that?
Yeah, because if you do raw Drive Rush and your opponent blocks it, you're now guessing. Like someone can do raw Drive Rush overhead and you're getting comboed, and even if you block it, you're still negative. But that doesn't really seem very fair. As if like, let's say someone just whiffs a button in my face. I've now seen that and I've whiff punished you. I can't do as much as I wanted to without risking myself going into burnout because it costs 3 bars.
Okay, that's interesting. I like the way that you said an answer we've heard quite a bit, but you've kind of phrased it and presented it in a different way. So that was very interesting. Rusty, what about you? That system looks like something you could really delve into and have some fun with. Who did you play in the beta, and do you have any hopes and concerns for Street Fighter 6?
I played Chem. If I'm honest, I think preferred Pen in this game. Pen in 6. I think if we were to main anyone in 6, I think I'd probably lean more to Ryu, because it was like a more traditional Shoto. Well, he's in that game. So yeah, I think in 6, Ken's changed quite dramatically. He moves away from what I like in this game. But the game overall, like the game is like super polished. It looks amazing. It's I think my hot take is I know people complain about 5 with V triggers. I think with 6, what I found was what they tried to do is they tried to make a very universal system. You know, the mechanics. which is good because then you can't moan about combat mechanics being unfair. But I found it was a little linear from the perspective of every matchup and round felt similar. And like the end game for me was always who's going to do drive rush into low, into confirm, into level 3.
Okay, I see what you mean. Right.
Yeah, and for me, like again, 5 is my game, and I understand the complaints with V-Trigger, but what V-Trigger is good at, in my opinion, is it creates so much creativity and diversity in the game. So you have your base character in 5, and they activate one of the 2 triggers. The matchup, the character changes, and you have to have strats.
Based
non-trigger
on...
and
the
selection. And I do understand, triggers can be awkward, can be difficult. But I like the creativity. I like how fun the game is because of them as well. And I think this goes back to what I said before about labbing and things. I think some people don't lab triggers to understand how to counter them. You can't do it for all of them. You got Oro and you got Manap, but there are triggers where sometimes I wait for someone to activate to counterplay them. In some matchups. So,
of course.
But with 6, that was my only gripe really. I mean, I know that the game could change. It's going to evolve, but I just found it a little, from that perspective.
Okay, no, do you know what? That was pretty deep. I'm not gonna lie, that was actually pretty interesting. How you view the V-Trigger to the system in 6. Nah, definitely, I'll note that one down. We'll keep that one in mind. Like you said, it will evolve, it will change. Yeah. Right, I've got 2 more questions for you before we let you guys go. Zion, now you did mention G before. Now, if there was hypothetically one more year with Street Fighter 5, is there any other character that's tempted you that you've wanted to learn that you could really quite sink your teeth into? But if you had more time, you'd learn them. Is there anyone there, or is it you just want to stick with Ed for another year? Hypothetically.
I'll probably play G or Seth.
Okay, I like that. What would the reason be for Seth? Is it just fun?
It's V-Trigger 2.
Alright, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie.
That V-Trigger 2 look kind of cool.
Alright, listen, when you get it down, it's fun. I've been learning it myself. It's pretty damn fun.
It would also feel rewarding because I've heard that the V-Trigger is hard to use.
Yes.
So knowing that I can use that, I could probably learn it. But there's no point because the game's over.
No, there's every point to learn it. You can dabble with it now and see what you missed out on. There's every point to learn it. You're saying there's no point in learning it in a competitive aspect from it. But what it can do is it can get the creative juices flowing. So then you have that kind of mindset going into 6. There's no point doing it. From a competitive aspect, yes, but learning it, I don't see why. You can do it tomorrow.
You can also improve. Yeah, you can also improve just the way you think about things and how you approach new things as well. So you might, find some new things about yourself as well.
No, it's true. It's also just a very rewarding V-Trigger to use when I see it land.
It is indeed. Rush, what about you? I've seen you on Ken. I don't think I've seen you on anybody else. Correct me if I'm wrong if you have used another character, but if SF5 had hypothetically one more year and you're like, right, I want to learn a new character, is there anyone that has tickled your fancy?
I've started messing around with Laura just for the sake of the stream, but that's more for it's more for fun. But I always wanted to play a character with a command grab. I just thought, what does it feel like? And it feels
how does it feel?
It feels amazing. Like I've been command grabbing the crap out of Gold League players. So I'm working my way to platinum.
Well, are you witnessing this next level euphoria that you've never had?
It's the people I was just in tears, laughter and all sorts when I was doing it. But yeah, it was fun. So Laura for fun, but I think she's. I don't really know where she's on the tier list. I think she's kind of mid-ish tier, but she's good. I do like her toolset. It's interesting, but competitively, I think if I was wanting to compete, be who called I think Rashid. I know something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I've always
a creative character as well.
Yeah, he's got loads of tech and stuff. But yeah, I think
that V-Skill 2 kind of.
I don't know if I'd be V-Skill 2 kind of got. I don't know.
V-Skill 2, just think of it as aerial footsies. End of discussion. Just think of it like that.
He's literally playing Guilty Gear.
I mean, he's having some fun. You are having some fun. Everyone has some fun in the game. Listen, fighting games
does look pretty fun.
Fighting games are not meant to be fair. That's all I'm gonna say. We can all talk about our characters, but go on.
Yeah, I have a question regarding Street Fighter 6 and the future as well for both of you. Are you looking to attend any events when Street Fighter 6 launches? We can start with Rushdie.
This is a little bit of an awkward question because people that are watching and know me, I've been trying to be a pie pooper to stop playing Street Fighter. In all honesty, I've been in and out of retirement for like the last 3 years.
Fighting game players don't retire, but go on.
Yeah, I'm learning this slowly, but yeah,
Okay, go on.
I need a break from live and content and everything. So that's I plan to watch 6. I don't plan to play 6.
Really?
Not at the start.
Not at the start.
What if I tempt you at 1 or 2 years in? What if I tempt you?
Depends where I am in life.
Okay,
yeah,
that's completely
That's a
understandable.
fair answer.
No, that's completely understandable. Zion, what about you? You want to travel anywhere or?
I'll probably, well, not probably. I'm definitely going versus fighting.
Okay.
Because that's the first tournament I've ever been to, and it was amazing.
Nice.
And then I'll probably try to go UFA as well. But I'm also going to be in uni, so who knows?
Oh, we'll see. Right. Education.
Or if there's any
first.
online tournaments, I'll definitely enter that.
Education comes first. Right, my final question for you two before we let you lovely gentlemen go. First place of Street Fighter 6 first Capcom Cup gets $1 million. If that was you, Zion Woods, what would you do with that $1 million?
Well, I'm going uni, so I'm trying to pay off that debt.
Okay. So your tuition fees paid? Anything else? You have a lot of money left over.
I'll probably save it for when I'm older and like get a house and stuff.
I like that. This man is thinking serious.
Smart. Yeah.
Nah, I like this. He's got a good brain on his hands. I like this. This guy's going to be very good. I like this. Keep an eye out for this kid. Rusty, what about you? If you had $1 million, what would you do?
I'd leave my 9 to 5. I would unretire and play Street Fighter 6 some more. And see how far I can make it.
Okay, I get it.
And hire an editor as well.
Oh, yes, you have definitely thought about this. That is brilliant. No, that is fantastic. No, I love it. But you know what, gentlemen, we are out of time here because we have to get things moving along. But so if we can get their fight card rolling on the screen right now, these guys have been amazing to talk to. I wish I could talk to them a little bit more. We might do that in our own time. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are their social media outlets on the screen. Sorry, you can see their Twitters and their Twitch accounts there. Please follow these guys and follow what they do. One of them claims he's going to retire, but it's very hard for fighting game players to retire these days because the moment you turn on the console, you are not retired. And of course, Zion Woods, young prospect, he's got a good future ahead of him. And he likes guessing too, so he might pick Zangief. Who knows? We'll wait and see.
No, 100% not.
Well, he says that now until he finds out. Anyway, but this is this is for you guys. The podium is all yours. Zion, is there anyone you'd like to thank? Is there anyone you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
I'd like to just thank everyone I've played with. I've played with Emily Walker before. Countless Cypher, I've met in person. Very nice. I've also met Shax and Shivs, and they're also very helpful, as well as Forfills, because I met them at Meltdown.
Nice.
And they've helped me like with the game and like what not to do and what to do. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Sweet. Rusty, what about you? Is there anyone you'd like to thank? Anyone you'd like to shout out?
Electronic Dojo, the Discord family. I've dragged them through this. My kids, baby mum, and just everyone that tunes into the content as well. I really, really appreciate it.
Sweet, fantastic. I like it. No one said Dawson should leave the game. That's great. Anyway.
I hope he does, but I don't think I should say that.
Well, no, maybe you could, but I can. I could join you in that regard. No, I'm just messing with you. But yes, gentlemen, it was been a pleasure speaking to you. Once again, thank you very much for taking time out of your day. When you guys are ready, you guys can leave the Discord call. So myself and Olvaha can close out the show. And then I'm going to drop you guys a message thanking you once again later on, probably in about half an hour, maybe an hour or so.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. This was very fun.
Cheers, guys. It was fun.
Take care of yourselves, gentlemen.
Enjoy it. You as well.
But yes, that was, you know what? Again, you got to thank this gentleman right here, not Veggie, this one right here, because he suggested these two players, brought them on, and they gave you a nail-biting set in that 10-9. So thank you very much, Olvaha, for that.
Thanks for being here with me. Couldn't do it by myself.
We don't need Veggie anymore. We just cut him off. We'll just get rid of him. Anyway.
We can consider that when he returns from his holiday.
Now I'm playing with it. Yeah, but yes, ladies and gentlemen.
That would be his face when he hears that.
Well, he probably would.
Who talked like that?
Anyway, but yes, Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed tonight. But yes, do not forget, Street Fighter 6 is out June 2nd. That's when it comes out. We're going to roll on the splash page for you guys right now. You can still pre-order the game. There are 3 versions of the game: the standard edition, the deluxe edition, and the ultimate edition. But we're going to give you the June 2nd one pre-order now first before we actually go into the next splash page here. It's on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. So if you do not have a PC or a next-gen console, you still have your PS4, please get a air can, spray your PS4, blow it off, open it up, clean it up, because it's going to be taken off to Mars anyway when Street Fighter 6 drops. I want you all being there on day one when we do play the game there. Even if you're on Xbox Series X or S, you can join us there. But if you're on PC and you have a Steam account, get pre-ordering. Can't wait, man. It's going to be an absolutely crazy week. Yeah, 8 weeks. That's the countdown. I tried to threaten Street Fighter account with a cat meme. Didn't quite work out. They said 2 months away, and I said, look, just give us the goods now. We don't need to skip this 2-month nonsense. Just give us the goods now. That's all.
I mean, we have 8 weeks to look at, the Luke cover art, and at this point, it's grown on me.
Well,
I like that.
I like that it's grown on you.
That.
But yes, big things are coming for the game, but we want it to have an amazing launch. It looks like it's right on track. But make sure you follow the official Street Fighter account on Twitter, on YouTube as well. Make sure you're subscribed to Capcom Fighters on the YouTube channel to catch the archives of this, and follow the Twitch account. And also, don't forget down here, the guys have been putting in work to make sure. Hey, there it is. They got it up. There it is. Don't forget, these guys, I know the people that actually been working behind the scenes for this Street Fighter account, so please go and check this out. If you do have TikTok, give them a follow, because this is the trendy thing nowadays. If you're allowed TikTok, of course. For those who know exactly what's going on with TikTok worldwide. But yes, make sure you follow this account and have a good time there. But yes, other than that, I don't think there's anything else I need to shout. We will have an episode next week. We are in the pipeline of getting that sorted for you. And Veggie will be returning with us as well. But yes, we are going to leave it there for tonight. Much appreciated to everyone that could join us. Yeah, we've got to love you and leave you. We are still playing some Street Fighter 5 until Street Fighter 6 rolls around. But yes, stay safe. Keep watching some Street Fighter. Keep analyzing. Keep joining us in the stream chat. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Sets. Until then, take care.